everybody. Good morning or good afternoon or good evening, depending on what time it is for you where you are. Happy, I want to say Friday. I'm going to double check on the WoW calendar. It is Friday. Look at that. It's Friday, January the 9th. I'm here. Miss Kira's here. She hopped up to say hello this morning. How you doing, Miss Kira? Yeah. She says purr. Happy Friday. Welcome to the beginning of your weekend. Should your weekend begin on a Friday? I got a nice kitty. I got a big cup of coffee I haven't started yet. And I have Boy over here who is nearly level 80. I've been picking away at my alts and leveling them. I was going to do one more time walking dungeon on this guy because he was halfway through 79. But then I did one world quest and it almost leveled me. So I figure I'm just going to do another world quest instead of time walking. And then I can do we can do like a different alt for time walking leveling. I'd been doing just the ones that were like partially through things that were kind of after 70 but before 80, but I'm gonna run out of those. I think pretty quick here. It only takes a couple of dungeons. It takes like a handful of dungeons to get from 70 to 80, especially if you had rested, which a lot of my alts do, certainly. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. I don't see why not. I guess the thing I can't do with one hand is I can't press my buttons, like the surge forward and whatever, unless I want to click on them, but I think we're fine. I think we can just steer. Nothing says we have to win the race, right, kitty? We just have to fly it. Nice. Sweater looks cozy. Itchy AF. Oh, it's not itchy at all. My sister made me this one. It's made of really nice wool. I find it's usually the cheap stuff that's itchy. Had to leave, get dessert on time walking because we kept wiping and wiping and wiping. That was a new experience. Which one was it? Which dungeon was it? I'm sure it can happen in any dungeon with the right confluence of people, but I've had a pretty good run so far in TBC time walking, but I've definitely been there. Whoa, 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 oh, oh, oh. There we go. I get into trouble when I start trying to read and fly. Shattered Halls. Tank just kept going way ahead, pulling 100 things with no healer. Yeah. Oh man, that would do it. I did a few on Barnacles and found that you do have to do some healing, and you can't do any if you're not in range. All right, yeah, Boy's level 80. Woohoo, good for him. That really was not too bad. I did not expect that to be as fast as it was. So we're just gonna fix his mog, pop him home where he belongs. I kind of feel like starting with time walking because it's nice and straightforward and doesn't take a lot of brain cells yet. Hi. So let's pick another alt that needs some leveling. Good. Glad she didn't make it out of eyelashes. I feel like I'm missing something. Good morning, good afternoon, kitty. Hi, kitty. How are you? You got a special treat this morning. When Moosey was outside, I was like, listen, this is the perfect time for you to get a special gravy treat. He'll never know, except that he will know, but it'll still be too late. He doesn't steal from her, he just hovers aggressively. Alright. Who's next? How many 80s do I have now? I guess we could count. I think I leveled Barnacles off stream yesterday as well, because it didn't take a lot. Yeah, Barnacles is 80 now. Good for him. Congratulations to Barnacles. If I search 80s, we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20... We've got 22 80s. And then another 2, 4, 6, 8. Oh, Kitty, you're putting your tail in my coffee. Should drink it. 10, 12, 13. 13 more 70s. I kind of forgot how many 80s I had. It was like 20 or something. Anything that can heal is super easy because then I don't even have to. Well, DPS is pretty easy too. It's just a longer queue. Let's do. Oh yeah, Crinkle's level 82. Must have done that. Let's hop on Night Flame. Why not? Casual. Yeah, that's me. Let's see. I wonder if she has milk foam on her tail. I don't think so. The catch-up they started actually worth it. It depends on what you want to get out of it, I suppose. I've been told that it's a transmog source, although it seemed to be transmog that I had already, so it may not be the first time that they've used that, used those items. So let's stick ourselves in a queue. I'm gonna DPS queue. I don't really want to worry about tanking. So we'll just do that. I have recruited 18 out of 20 friends here. And we could recruit a few more. So mission table wise, we're set. This is once those Naga come through, I will have recruited an army for the Fellhammer. We will have that particular piece of decor done. I still need to do his like campaign and stuff though. I guess I can work on that a little bit while I'm waiting for my time walking queue. Or I could sit here and drink my coffee. Item IDs, that much I'm sure of. Time walking is really fast. I think time walking is probably the best way to level. Yeah. Iron Chain Kitty. I feel like he wears it well. You know? He's vibing, he's living. I think it goes nice with his, well, it doesn't go with his pink hair. The energy suits, the colors not so much. Nice Chain Kitty. It was made for someone like him. So I could, yeah, we could chip away at this a little bit, I'm sure. This one is just a regular quest. I don't even think that one's class order hall. I think it's just this top one. Yeah. Ideally, I progress this until I get to a point where they're making me do more missions, because those are pretty easy to just kind of log on and send. I'm gonna need to pick a character at some point and start actually doing their campaign. I did the first couple of quests until I hit that first like little mission blockade, but there's a few more of them. I miss my Ronnie, pink-haired demon hunter. That Chain Kitty was promised to him 3,000 years ago. Maybe that's why he was bare-chested. He had been waiting for the Chain Kitty of destiny. He didn't want to don lesser garments. He's carrying around a head of Onyxia after all these years. And a story of a memorable victory? And a goblin's guide to Elementium? No. Not worrying about that. Also, his flight master's whistle. I don't know what this character has going on in his life, but I have a feeling it's not much. Ooh, I could get order resources for this. If I am on location for order resources, I should do it. They are sparse, and I'm gonna need more of them to finish my research in a couple of these characters. Hi, Hazel. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, Fausty. Happy bee noises. Thank you very much for the 9-month resub. I'm looking forward to spring when there will be happy bee noises once again. I was looking at some birds. There was a flock of birds that was just kind of hanging out in my yard, pecking around and perching on stuff. They were very cute, and I was wondering, do birds also get depressed in the winter? Because you'd think that they would. Like, they're tiny, they're probably cold, it's probably harder to find food, and they just have to, like, keep cheaping around. And they seem to manage. Little C2222, thank you for the 23-month resub. Appreciate it very much. Been away from streams for a while, but you still get my sub as the best WoW streamer. Aww. Pretty easy to get in Remix. Saw an owl last night. I'm very dumb. I just wanted to go, whoo. That's always really cool. I used to see them in the cities sometimes. I thought I would see them more out here, but I guess they have more trees to hide in. Farming Shadowlands mounts today? What is wrong with me? I'll tell you what's wrong with you. It's a lack of Shadowlands mounts. Once you get them all filled in, you're going to feel much better. Nightborn troops. You do, as you're doing the class order hall questing, you do get some order resources from that. Those quests also frequently give nice little infusions of order resources, so I think that my problem will kind of solve itself, because a lot of these characters, they can't even send that final expensive tier of research until they finish this, so it's sort of a moot point. Hey Hazel, how are you? Hi Elrathir, I'm doing alright, how are you? My last character to max level today, account is full now. Full! Holy smokes. Congratulations. Fascinated by how the wee songbirds can persist during harsh winters, even -30 and below. Yeah, they're so teeny. How many tunes is full? How many is it these days? Is it 70? It's somewhere in there. Lie down, wait for midnight, I guess. Okay. That was just a detour because there was order resources available. Oh no, I was doing my quest. We're on it. We have an 8-minute dungeon queue here. It is my understanding that depression only happens in mammals, but that could be a limited understanding. Yeah. That makes sense. Oh, 1,000. I was adjusting my light settings, like my stream light, because I was thinking about seasonal affective disorder lamps, and I was kind of looking into what they are and what they do. And effectively, it's just a bright old light. Lots of lumens, lots of lux or whatever, and then there's like a color temperature window. But it occurred to me that that's something that the key light could do, and that the key light maybe would do if I had turned it up anymore. Because I used generally stream in like a cave. It's almost completely dark, and then I just have my settings to kind of boost the light a little bit. But I was adjusting it today. It shouldn't hurt my eyes to have the light brighter as long as my monitors are like an equivalent level of brightness. It's when your eyes are trying to like do two things that it sucks. If it's all kind of on level, but your eyes should adjust to it. We'll see. Oh, another 1,000 over here. Bird feet have an amazing circulation system. They trap heat in their feathers. Got to get as many tunes as possible, so when pre-patch hits, I have the maximum number of characters to gear up before they're all abandoned in Midnight proper. I feel bad when they get wet. You see them all like floofing out after the rain, trying to dry off all their feathers. I guess this guy is. We're just waiting for him. Good chance for coffee. Extra 1,000 resources there. That will help. I was down to like my last 6 or 7k resources, so anything we're doing here is not gonna hurt. Let's pop over this way. It's gonna stick us in a dungeon soon. This guy is fresh at level 70, so one dungeon is not gonna get him like fully leveled or anything. Might get him a bit. When I do get to decor for today, I want to do some more. I'm nearly caught up on alchemy to the point that I'm going to. I need to do Legion alchemy and Kultiran alchemy. And at that point, I'll have them all at least leveled. I have not made the Black Lotus requiring item yet for gold reasons. I have the gold, I just don't wish to commit it to this goal at this time. And we could try to farm it, but I feel like it's going to be awful, because if it wasn't awful, then the price would have fallen by now. So I think we might just like let that one sit for a while and kind of come back to it later. Why is Black Lotus still so rare? It seems because it's just awful to farm. It's kind of impossible to brute force from the sounds of it. It can rarely take the spawn of a couple other herbs in a couple zones. And there's just a lot of competition for it. There's only so much of it going around. Spent 4 hours farming, got one. Yeah. Trying to farm even one Black Lotus, nada. Yeah, maybe I should just suck it up and spend the... Isn't it like 50k gold worth of mats, though? It's something crazy. To buy the Black Lotus instead of farming it. It is +1 decor. The thing that's going to drive me nuts is having alchemy at like 98% done or whatever it turns out to be when I have the rest of it filled in. Having like one orange thing in the list, like one open hole that I didn't fill. It's gonna eat at me a little bit. When you think about it, the more I dwell on how annoying that thing is going to be to get, the apothecary table, the more I'm going to value it. The more likely I am to find a place for it in my home, because I feel like at a certain point it's a status item. Oh, we're doing a big old pull over here. Farva6926, thank you very much for the 5-month resub. Aloha, aloha. How are you doing this week? Oh, we got to level 71. That's good. Big old pulls are great when we can deal with them. Some of these dungeons get kind of out of hand, though. Any DPS characters I'm taking through time walking, I'm just one-buttoning on them. Unless it's a hunter. If it's a BM hunter, I guess I can press my own buttons. I suppose. Assuming that they're like vaguely on the bar. I have zones like that where I only need one thing, and the one thing is horrible. It can really suck. I have mouse over on because I meant to kick this one, and I kicked a different one that I had my cursor on. Yeah, it's alright. What I like about time walking right now is it's pretty chill. Pretty one-hand friendly. If I was going to delete any of my 70s instead of leveling them, the ones that are in danger are probably the excess priests. Characters like Shellfish, who is a Darkspear troll priest that I had that was a character I leveled in like Mop Remix. He's got a cute name. But priests are one of the worst characters to have in alts because they really suck for farming old content. So if you're ever like, oh man, at least I can do extra mount runs, you're like, okay, you better walk. Have fun with that. They're not the absolute worst. I put Warlock there, but they're down there. Never too early to have dessert, am I right? I strongly believe that earlier in the day is a much better window for dessert than the end of the day. It gives your body more time to actually like deal with it instead of just being like, here, have something challenging and now let's go to sleep. My favorite dessert window is like 4 o'clock, like afternoon. Maybe with like a cup of tea or something. That is the primo spot in the day for like a piece of pie. Breakfast also acceptable, but it's hard because I also want to have like some protein for breakfast and I can't do both. Priest, don't skip leg day. Had a time walking dungeon was doing that was a wipe because the healer kept getting silenced. Could have handled the pull if it wasn't for that. The mobs that silence are really brutal. There's I forget which dungeon. It's one of the ones that looks like this. It might be this one. Maybe they're just killing the mobs that do it. Happens though. And there's definitely been an occasional tank that yells at the healer for not healing when you're like, I couldn't if I wanted to. It was not an option that was available to me. Warlocks are powerful for soloing tough fights due to pets. Priests don't really excel at any non-group thing. Yeah, the thing that I run into trouble with Warlocks is that if usually what I'm farming is not challenging. It's normally kind of like a run through and mass AoE thing. And priests at least have Holy Nova. Rinsing down like a raid worth of trash on a Warlock is awful. It sucks. Your AoEs are not very comfy or spammable. It's not so good for that. So we don't have lots of extra Warlocks. I do have extra priests, but I feel like we could maybe ice a few of them. I don't know. So that one dungeon got Night Flame nearly to 74. I think we're saying three queues to get from 70 to 80. Also, we can finish this campaign quest just because, like, we're in here. Druid remains best? Yeah. No, Druid's awesome for sure. I like Hunter as well. It's not perfect, but I find them to be pretty fast too. And I just like having the pets for company. So my extra Druids are safe. My extra Hunters might be safe. My extra Priests are in danger. But some of them look really cool. I have an undead female priest named Allison. And she looks awesome. She has like a mix of undead heritage armor and Zeralic Caverns era priest gear. It's just real cool. Putting out some candles here. It's kind of like the War Within dungeon before it actually happened. The fact that you can't just reorganize warband camps makes me crazy. It's gotta be something they do eventually, right? It seems like such a strange thing for it to not have. Saw a Facebook video, said eating food in a certain order makes a difference. Sounds like it could be true. I have a complex when it comes to the phrase Facebook video, though. Nothing inspires less trust in me than media shared on Facebook. There's a door here somewhere. I'll never find it. Is it here? No. Done with all classes order halls, and it is insane how Blizzards treat us like this way. It's way too much to do. It's not okay. I think sometimes we get ourselves in for more than maybe anyone intended us to, because the expectation that we get everything is something that I think we kind of put on ourselves. What Warlock specs have you played? Played Demo with Soul Harvester. AoE is fine. I've tried all of them to some extent. It's not that they don't have good AoE damage, it's that they don't have spammable, easy to use AoE trash clearing. Like if you're running through an old raid where you're trying to one-shot big packs of stuff, you don't have like your Arcane Explosion or your Holy Nova or your multi-shot or your swipe on a druid. You don't really have an equivalent of that. Your AoEs either have cast times or they have cooldowns or they cost resources. That's my main problem with Warlocks. Yeah, exactly. Rain of Fire takes shards, can't spam it. I signed a contract with Blizzard to get everything, didn't you? I think I signed a contract with Blizzard to die alone in this cave. Yeah, there's Laystone Seam down here. I might actually use his Hearthstone to get him out of here. I don't really want to run around in circles anymore. Oh, dear. Only thing I have is Bile Scourge Bombers. Think it's going away in midnight. Why did they get rid of Barrage for Hunters? Are they doing it again? I feel like they can't make up their minds with that one. I've seen it like come and then go and then come back, and if it's going again, that's really funny. Okay, let's get rid of some of this stuff. Oh, hang on. Recruit Ashtongue Warriors. Oh, I can't recruit any more of those. Never mind. I wanted to for my achievement. I've nearly finished that achievement. I guess you could pop one of these Mysterious Wisdoms. I don't think it's really gonna matter. I have a bunch of them. They're from the Mysterious Fortune event. I like banked a bunch of them. Using Barrage in a low-level dungeon and watching all the trash fall at my feet is so satisfying. I miss it. Where is the last one? Oh, it's in Val'sharah. Also, I need to remember on this character, at some point in his life, he must... Oh, his Hearthstone takes him to Mud Sprocket. That's brutal. At some point in his life, he must turn in his Swirling Vial to Shatrath. It's going to be an extra 200 badges, and I need every badge I can get. Crazy thing about Hunters right now is the Mythic Plus build does not even use multi-shot. That is wild. Hunters are one of those classes that have a hard time getting into Mythic Plus in the first place because of a lack of a usable raid buff, right? They have Hunter's Mark, but in Mythic Plus it's not going to get you very far. I like it better when the World Boss World Quests give resources. Lust. Oh, yeah. That is true. They are a Lust class. I have the somewhat guilty distinction of having been invited to groups, presumably for my Lust on a Hunter, and completely forgetting that it was a thing, not having the correct pet out, and not even really, like, super looking at chat. Not in any dungeon where it was, like, big enough to make a difference, but that is probably why they took me. And I think that, and of course once you're in a key, they're not likely to boot you because they don't want to break their own key. But I've been that oblivious before. It's like, wait, you want me to what? Using the time walking rep bonus to get to 100 exalted reps. Now at 93 of 100. Oh, nice. Just finished TBC. Let's pop this guy back. Let's take him back to Dalaran. He can flight path it. Oh, Artemirs, thanks very much for the raid. Welcome, raiders. Hope you had a lovely stream. We're going to stick him way back up here. I should probably set my hearth there, too, because there's really... One day I'm going to hit this button, and it's going to take me to Mud Sprocket. And I'm going to deserve every bit of that. Thank you, Diva. Enjoy your stream. Appreciate it. Need to add more rep achievements? 100? Much too easy. I don't even know how many reps we have these days, but they do really pile them on with a shovel. We get lots more. Here with the raid. Happy Friday. Hey, Haley. How you doing? We are starting our day with some time walking leveling. It's Night Flame's time. He's growing up. He's going to be a grown boy. I'm demon huntering left and right. His chain keeney is flying to and fro. Hither and thither. What a Tifa of a transmog. Isn't he fantastic? I use the Vengeance Incarnate title on him because my vibe of demon hunters is that they are so 2007 anime edgy, and I kind of wanted his name and his title to like lead into that, but then his clothing should vaguely invoke a rave. Will you change his name to Man? No. Mostly because I can't get it. He's all that. It's the new one from Trading Post. If you don't have it yet, it's the one thing that I found worth spending tender on this month on January Trading Post. It was good. I am working through my various classes for class order hall decor. We are nearly finished troops on him. Another like half an hour and I think those will come through. I need to do, and then we need to do campaigns so that we can finish his research. I got a couple other characters I should probably send some missions on for troops. Death Knight and Warrior, and then Shaman and Hunter. But we're like getting there. I have to replay the Monk campaign, which is a real kick in the pants. I've played it before, but the character that did it is long gone and unrecoverable, so whoops. Didn't think it was gonna come in handy. Kind of figured I was done with that. Before I go anywhere, I'm actually gonna set my regular Hearthstone to Dalaran as well. Kind of overkill when you have a Dalaran Hearthstone, but it's better than Mud Sprocket. Hello? Hi. There we go. Are we gonna be able to get this one? I would put this in my house. I think. I think I would put that in my house. I know we're getting more art in Midnight. I don't know like which pieces specifically. This one's nice too. Was Mud Sprocket for farming Onyxia? I think so. Never seen that painting. I don't know how I feel about that one. What is the cooking daily? I'm not sure. I got my cheese already. Here, I'll take a look. I'll take a look. It's different, I think, Alliance and Horde, and then NA and EU. Chopped whale. Initially I thought lovely painting, and then I looked closer. I mean, the whale only looks like mildly put out by the whole business. I don't even think I have cooking. I'm not gonna worry about it. There's an art shop in Dalaran. Yeah. Look, the expression on the whale is kind of just like a, you got me, you know? What are you gonna do? Alright. Hearthstone set. We are in a time walking queue. It should be coming through shortly. He's dead. There's not many expressions he could make. I can't think of any further things to say that are not wildly way too dark. This is the danger of getting a really aggressive form of liposuction. Do we even have whales in WoW? I know there's whale sharks. I think there's whales in Northrend. There's at very least orcas that you can get a druid form for. I think you can also get a... I think they exist as like... I remember there's like a quest about them up in the Borean Tundra Northwest. Man, they really want you to go everywhere for these things. I think that's the kicker of the that's the real kicker of Class Order All campaigns, is just the travel time. Unless he's a Forsaken Whale. The implication that whales in WoW is just a single spine bone holding a single giant muscle. Yeah, they're really made of steak. That's why they were endangered for so long. Quest is a whale of a time. Welcome to Botanica. This one I've had trouble with. I'm not healing it this time. So the trouble is, I think, generally not my problem. But I've definitely had some spicy times in this one. This is also the dungeon that leads me to believe that they should really just chill and give Blood Elves druids. If Botanist Raywin can do it, then what's their excuse? What's the idea? What are we talking about? Botanica's a B to heal. I was doing it on Barnacles, and of course I've like cobbled the talents together without reading any of them, basically just clicking them to have something spent. And no clue of how any of it fits together, and just trying to heal with like 5 buttons. And we made it through. Those 5 buttons were enough to get us through, but like barely. Lots of bosses in this one, though. It's good experience. The one thing I like about being a melee is having a short cooldown kick. I'm really used to being a priest where it's like 45, maybe 30 seconds if I'm in Shadow Spec. And if not, then you just have to hope that they are bothered by Chastise. I think we'll make it through this one because we're not pulling overly aggressively. Oh, thank you. You coming back up, or are you just doing the rounds? Making a lap. One of my trinkets turns me into, it's this one. It's the Weathered Northrend Sigil. I think it's from the pre-patch, like the War Within pre-patch. They sent us to Iceground for some reason. And it was one of the pre-patch catch-up gear trinkets, and I've been wearing it for this entire expansion. And whenever I've gone questing or, you know, working on his order hall or anything, he's been turning into a Vrykul this entire time, and I keep being like, when did they add this to Demon Hunter? Because I keep forgetting it's a trinket. I need to replace the darn thing. Maybe you'll get one in time walking. This one's nice too, because they auto give you quests and then they auto complete. You don't have to do anything. If you've never been through here before, you'll get a bunch of extra experience from the quests. Is your healer in Shadow Spec? Yes they are. Kind of got a Xaladath thing going on as a Void Elf. But it's not me. So that's fine. I think that's the thing I like least about Demon Hunters is I don't feel like... I guess that's just because I haven't played them enough. Maybe it's Blade Dance. Is that my problem? I don't like it when he just, like, jumps everywhere. I press one button and he does, like, 4 backflips. He's doing way too much. I don't feel very connected with it. Druid could do extra healing. There is a no-movement Demon Hunter build. Please subscribe to the Laura Bailey version of healing. If the enemy is dead, you don't have to worry about your team taking damage. Hey, it works. I've done this before. DPS'd while in healer queue. If I can determine, and if I feel like the healing is not necessary, or I can just kind of off-heal my way through it, then I think everybody would prefer that the dungeon is faster. Hoping leveling with time walking can be better and more useful than pre-patch leveling. It seems fast enough to me that I decided to stop waiting to see what pre-patch leveling was going to be like. Even if it is somehow faster, this is so fast that it kind of doesn't matter. It's not a wild amount of time per character. It kind of depends on how quick your queues go, but you can do like sub 10-minute time walking dungeons, and you can be level 80 in like 3 of them. Oh, we lost somebody. And I can't res them because I'm not a healer. This really is like a Xalatath look. It's kind of cool. Server typically been 6 to 8 minutes for horde DPS, which I am fine with. Yeah, it's not been too bad. This teleport form that I'm in doesn't have any combat animations for half the things I just did, so he was just kind of standing there looking at the guy. Oh dear. I got a ring. When I was leveling Barnacles, I had to try and remember that the gear I had been wearing previously was a speed set, so when I replaced it, I needed to not, like, vendor it, and so I tried to save as much of it as I could remember and stick it in the bank. He had some nice speed rings that Flabby made and stuff like that. Gonna need it eventually. Although I find that if you wait long enough, your speed set gets kind of outdated anyways, then you need another version of it regardless. Yeah, it was level 75, halfway there. Two more bosses left too. Although he is out arrested. You can heal a bit in Shadow Spec, yeah. They let you cast your flash heal. They let you cast Power Word Shield. A lot of the healing in Shadow Spec is going to be from things like Halo and Vampiric Embrace, which is less targeted healing and more just kind of like raid off healing for big damage moments, but it can put out like a lot of numbers. Probably need new ones with midnight changes. Yeah, most likely. Keep forgetting that stat squish is coming. I feel like this one will be relatively fine just because it is not their first or second rodeo. Some things will certainly break and take a while to fix, but I feel like they must have learned a few things from having done it the first couple times, and they're getting more experienced at it now. Maybe that's just naive optimism from me. Coffee gun. Dragonflight raids should become legacy loot in Midnight. You know. Mathematically. I haven't gone and like checked on beta or anything like that, but I'm expecting them to. Still waiting on a Dragonflight LFR NPC. Yeah, I would expect that to come around legacy loot mode time, but sometimes there are a few patches late and stuff like that. Gotta finish Mage Tower before the squish goes live. Yeah. Mage Tower, and then I feel like Brawler's Guild would be good to get done. You never know what's going to happen with that, if they even leave it up. I think it's funny that his pants are made out of tree. Done. All the way to 77. That quest makes a huge difference. I think I'm gonna give this a rest for a minute. I would like to get him to 80 today, but I think we can let him sit. Is that enough? No, he needs one more. He needs to recruit one more guy. Okay, Let's let him be for the second. Let's do some Legion. This might be expensive. Let's do some Legion Alchemy. I need to do Legion and Cultiran Alchemy to kind of get Alchemy sort of finished, decor collecting-wise. And I'm particularly interested in the Arkandor cutting fountain item. I don't know what we're cutting in Arkandor, but the fountain's beautiful. I need to double-check the name. It seems like a strange name. Let's see. Professions, Alchemy... So, there's the expensive table that I can make, but I haven't done so yet because of Black Lotus. Arkandor. It is a cutting fountain. Arkandor cutting fountain. Anyway, it's gorgeous. I need it, so let's go pull up a alchemy leveling guide. Grab my WoW professions and my second monitor over here. Profession leveling. Legion Alchemy. And I was skimming this guide and it didn't immediately look. I think the cutting fountain's gonna go here, maybe? Or maybe I'll just do a second fountain. Maybe I'll double fountain it. Maybe I'll stick it on this side over by Larry over here. I need like 10 of those. Because I don't know if I have it in my heart to take down my like Cherry Blossom Pond fountain. I guess it's not a fountain, it's more of a pond. Time to farm some Black Lotus. Oh gosh. I don't know. Seems rough. All I've heard from you guys has been stories about people farming for hours and getting zilch. Clinically nothing. Let's go pop by. There will be a whole quest line. I don't believe that we need to do it. Let's start with some Cerulean seeds. Which only has spelled with one R. One R, two L's. Yeah, give me like 200 of these. They'll come in handy. Also, I should probably get rid of some of the garbage from my packs. There's a bunch of stuff we made recently that is no good. Sad I sold my Lotus for so cheap. Flamingo named Larry. I think his name was Larry. Steel skin I feel like maybe somebody wants. If they're 30 gold a pop. I'm just like checking the auction values. At least as of yesterday. Some of these things might be needed for other things. Yeah. Swim speed potions. Reputation. Those are my actual potions. My untethered Zaibucha. I suppose I haven't done my my wriggling pinnacle cache for the week. It's kind of a later me problem. I can't really be bothered. Get rid of these. Yeah, it's a little better. Alright, let's start. We only need to get it to like 60. We don't need very much here. Legion Alchemy, we're going to start by making 5 rank 1 ancient mana potions. Hang on. After you've learned alchemy, pick up the quest and get some recipes and potions. Get your mix on. From... because he should have a quest for me. Theoretically. I'm tracking low-level quests. Maybe just get the recipes over here. Oh yeah, they'll sell them to me just for gold. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4. At least the first rank of them anyway. Tempted to use this just in case I had these at any point in my life. Sure. Why not? It's 80 gold. Forgotten formulas. I don't know if I've ever had alchemy in this character before. I picked up 2 things. Light Blood Elixir and Tears of the Naru. Nothing else. Alright. Very good. It was a dupe week for me again. Yeah, I'll have to see. Hazel, been a while. You will not believe what happened yesterday. I bet you're right. What happened yesterday? What is it? I'm gonna need more crystal vials. I'm almost out of them. The one nice thing is that this character, I think, has like the Legion reps. So if I run into a situation where I can get a higher rank of a recipe just off of a rep vendor, I can probably just go pick it up. That would be a good drag name. Crystal Vials. How are we making out with profession decor? It's going alright. I'm nearly finished with alchemy. I need to do these things. Legion and then Cultiris. Cultiris might actually be a project. We'll see. A little scared of that one. We're making ancient mana. Single step. Did I not buy a bunch of Cerulean seed? I meant to. Must have done. I did. So we need 5 of these and we'll keep them. Just started Outland Engineering? Yikes. Entire quest lines for Legion recipes has stopped me in my tracks a few times. Some professions need them and some of them don't. Some of them you can get away without doing the questing. Culture and also a slog. So 9 through 15. Oh, hang on. 4 through 9. Well, let's just do this until we get to 9. Make another 3 of them. Only have inscription and Kazlagar alchemy. Almost there is taken forever. There's some really beautiful stuff, though. Alright, 6 rank 2 ancient healing pots. Patricia Egan. And then you can discover the rank 3 recipe for making these. So I can buy a rank 2 ancient healing pot recipe. It's nice. I wonder if they were kinder on alchemy because, I don't know, people needed potions. 6 of these. I was in my garden and I kept hearing a weird noise coming from the ground. I dug for a bit, found a weird creature. It was so ugly. Spent a half hour Googling it to find out it's a frog. I beg you to look up purple frog. I cannot believe such a weird creature exists. It's also so fat. I will look this up. Hang on. 9 out of 15. Alright, so we're going to do 5 rank 1 ancient rejuves. Purple frog. Oh my god. What's wrong with it? Why is it like that? I feel like this frog upset God. I'm going to let you guys Google this for yourselves. It's just a purple frog. It really looks like it's paying for something. Yeah, it looks like the amphibian version of a vole from the rodents. If all the creatures are beautiful, then what happened to these ones? Alright, we are at 20, and we're going to make 35 rank 2 ancient healing pots. So I'm going to need more Cerulean seed. I guess I'll make this many and then see where we're at. Oh, hang on. These ones. And the next rank is a discovery, so just making this should help us discover the 3rd one. I can't believe you're frog shaping. It looks like it's ashamed all by itself. I don't think it needs my help. This seems not so bad so far. Maybe it will hit an expensive part. Because I think Legion herbs are spendy. But being able to coast this far off of just a Cerulean seeds is super nice. Oh, we got the recipe. So we procced the rank 3. We can learn that now. And that's going to... Oh, it just no longer requires the alchemy station now. Okay. That's fine. Purple frog is what I feel when I wake up. Why did that creature look like a mammal heart with a mole face? Oh dear. Let's get another 200 of these. It's probably too many, but that's okay. We can sell our extras. So we're meant to be making these all the way up to 50. And if we got the rank 3 recipe, we can make it up to 70, which is pretty much close to what we need to be. This is nice. This one's not so expensive. 10 points at the end will not be too bad. If WoW had a purple frog pet, would you catch it? Of course. I'm kind of surprised they don't have a blobfish yet. Maybe they would be difficult to animate. Frog not uglier than the blobfish. Aren't blobfish mainly ugly when you pull them out of the water? Let me see. Blobfish underwater. I feel like he's not meant to, yeah, he looks great when he's swimming. He's just not meant to get pulled up, you know? He needs the water pressure and tension and whatever to make him happy. I bet that if you stuck me underwater for a week, I would look hideous too, you know? Some things are just not right. They look fine underwater. They look great. Team Blobfish. Aren't the cobus a mix of blobfish and orchid? Oh man, we took this all the way to 70. I might be able to take this all the way to 80, honestly. It's gone green, but these are so cheap. It's, you know. And I have so much of it anyway. I feel like we may as well. I just need 5 more points. Go Ixie, go! I roll those craps. I wonder if the last 5 points are going to be kind of annoying. We'll have to check and see what else we can do. Although, if my option is like primal Sargarites, which are bop anyway in Astral Glory, then we may indeed end up making ancient healing potions. Are there any other rank 2s that I can buy? No? Just rank 1s? Could probably check in with like some rep vendors or something. Or, what does the guide say? The guide says from 70 to 100, making like rank 2 flasks that like drop in different places. I think I'm just gonna wing it with the healing potions. We just need 3 more points. I'll just get another bunch of that. I think that's gonna be way cheaper than messing around with anything else. love the basically 1 recipe leveling. I ain't falling for the you should Google it trick again. It's all the same. Alright, there we go. There's rank 80. Beautiful. Bada bing, bada boom. We can make 1 Arkandor cutting fountain, 1 starry scrying pool. So let's figure out how much lumber we need. 68. And we have 10. Also, spendy. Woof. 3K. Not too bad, actually. The profit was putting me off because I think people want these. Sylvan elixirs. Can I make a Sylvan elixir? Should I make a Sylvan elixir? It's pretty profitable. I have a lot of ancient healing potions. Anyway. Make those myself. At a certain point. Maybe I'll make a few of them. Dreamleaf. Just to try. Just for fun. So I'm only gonna have like... I'm only gonna make like 4 of them. But the price is a bit high because they're used for a piece of decor. It's just a question of how many people are crafting with it. Let's post it and see if they sell. Where do I like to farm lumber? in Legion. I've been farming Legion lumber in Asuna, I think. I think that's what I've been doing. Let's hop on a druid. Head out to Asuna. Belshara's pretty great. Yeah, Belshara's not bad. Might try out some different zones. As long as I'm not in High Mountain, I think we're cool. I think that's, as long as I'm not in High Mountain, I think we're chilling. Druid portal's right there. True. Although, am I in Legion anyways? Oh no, I'm in the other Dalaran. Yeah, we can dreamwalk. Asuna is correct. Alright, 70 lumber coming right up. I don't know why I was looking there. It's Legion. I guess I gotta go via Dreamgrove. Her bags are a mess. Carrying around a bunch of garbage. At some point before midnight launches, I'm gonna have to sit down and really sort out some of this stuff. Alright, let's head vaguely south, shall we? Make her bigger bags. I don't know if that's the solution. So there was a clip on a reality show I watched a long time ago. I didn't finish watching it, but a woman had a lot of clothes and she had like a room in her home. She had like closets, but then she also had like rooms in her home that were just for clothes, but they were full. And she goes up to her husband and she's like, "We need another house." This is the only solution to my problem. We need another house. Not just a bigger house, another house. Bigger bags, always the solution. Plan to sort out stuff and then wait until midnight launch day. Sometimes bag cleanup is something I like to do while I'm waiting for the expansion to actually launch. Because these days they have servers up and they just have to kind of like flip the switch or whatever to let you in. So while I'm kind of bumming around Stormwind waiting for the quest to chip in, it's not a bad time to do your bags. Pre-patch, yeah. I think my problem is that a lot of my characters have been messing with old professions, which just decimates your bags. And then also, at a certain point, I stopped using or trusting, or I just had disabled my various add-ons that I used to use to, like, auto-vendor stuff. So a lot of them have just, like, a bunch of old gear from random, like, old dungeon runs or doing Legion class order halls or something. Fell Touch Lumber's going alright. We have 8. I'm not going to track herbs, because I think that'll slow me down too much, but if we find any anyways, I think I might pick them up. If we trip on them, you know. My bank is now a mess because I'm hoarding everything for professions. Yeah, you never really know when it's going to come in handy. Just want to sell it all. You could be like me, just sell all of it, and then whenever you need something again, you just buy it back. Use the auction house as your bank. Let them organize it. Went through my bag, sold all my older mats, made so much money, needed it for housing. Yeah, a lot of the decor is really expensive. I kept thinking there was another druid following me picking lumber. It's Brawl Bearmantle. That's my combat follower. I have a Legion combat follower enabled on this character, and that's who keeps pulling up right behind me. I was fully convinced that was just a night elf druid. Hoarding gear for when you can change it into other gear without needing charges. It's very smart. Cleaned my warband bank yesterday, and all I learned is that I need to work on professions more. Hello, Hazel and gang. Hello, Nordic Light. How are you doing today? Happy Friday. I'm lumbering. I'm Lumberjack of Illyria. Them adding decor to the game really obliterated any consideration I had for transmonger mounts or pets. They all kind of faded away in my brain. They'll come back eventually, maybe. I don't know. As long as we're having fun, that's the important thing. My house isn't perfect yet. My house isn't even done yet, to be honest. Love ATT showing what I still need to craft from a profession item, because only one profession uses that item, then I can just shove it on that character. That's smart. I want the Banshee pet, but literally no one is selling it. Across, like, all servers? Which Banshee pet? Realized the other bird was your Legion follower. Yeah, me too. He was pranking me for a bit. I thought that somebody was following me to rip off my lumber route. You know, my super official lumber route, which is definitely not just flying randomly. All servers, the Shrieker. I'll look into this. First of all, is it something that I have? It is something I have. Battle for Azeroth. It's not cageable. It's not cageable. That's probably why. 3 cleansed remains. I think you have to do the Strathhold Pet Challenge for those. I don't think that you can get them from other people. You must obtain the cleansed remains. You cannot purchase them in the auction house. Normally, if there's any way to get something on the auction house, it'll be at least on one server. Like, damn, that person's hot on your trail for wood. Article I read lied. Their pants must be on fire. People get confused. I get confused. It's a confusing game. Some of the pet dungeon rewards are sellable and some of them are not, which is annoying and inconsistent, but it looks like that one. The only reason I figured it wasn't cageable is I tried. I looked it up and I right-clicked it and there is no cage button here like there is for a regularly put-in cage pet, which is my first clue. Planning to play TBC? No. The core budget for interior will almost certainly go up as we get more levels in the decor track. So bummed that I hit decor cap and only finished 1 room and a half. I'm with Haley. What did you put in there? You can get lucky in the Strathholm dungeon, get more than 1 remains. Oh man. Have to grind that pet out then. Those ones are satisfying once you've got them done. At least it's a deterministic drop, like it's a currency thing, and not like the Wailing Caverns pet battle dungeon where it's just a bag that has a low chance to drop the pets. Those pets are cageable, but holy moly, they did not want to drop for me. I was doing that pet dungeon for so long. Made a pretty room and a half of a library tower. I think I might end up redoing my house when Midnight comes out. Maybe even before then. Maybe if I reach a point where I've kind of caught up on the currently available decor, I might... Not my exterior. I like my yard. I don't think I'm gonna make like little adjustments. I don't think I'm gonna make any major changes to my yard. The outside of my house, I'm pretty happy with it. But the inside, I think I might just completely start over because I do like the 1 room I've done, but like we can do better. Got really lucky with getting the rare pet from Wailing Caverns. My 15th bag. Thought about doing it to sell it, and that stopped pretty quick. I think I ground that dungeon for months and then ended up buying it, to be honest. I think I ended up paying for the expensive one. I was getting duplicates of the other ones because there's a few different ones and some of them are less rare. Main entrance room took 951 decor. Oh, man. We're doing 30 out of, what did I say, I needed 70? I gotta figure out what my favorite lights and windows are and then get copies. And I gotta not assume what my favorite lights and windows will be beforehand, because I thought that the Barella string lights based on the preview were gonna be my absolute go-to, so I bought a ton of them off the vendor in BFA. Turns out, Barella string lights give off barely any light. They are 90% rope. They are 1% lamp. They're kind of dinky. They're not what I dreamed of. It is not, not what I was thinking about. So I have like 30 of them. And also they're like 5 points per string. So yeah, they're really expensive. I don't think they're going to have the same place of honor I had originally dreamed of. Elven ones look okay if you dye them mahogany. Finding a good window is tough. Yeah. I don't mind the glowy golden ones. I just have to find a shape that I like from a source that I'm willing to get copies from. Like, if I end up deciding I want the metery window, then how many times do I really want to run Cinderbrew? I feel like I shouldn't decorate until housing's fully out. I think it's good to decorate early, because even if you end up tearing it all down and putting it out again, you will have learned something about what you like and what you don't like from having done it the first time. I feel like every time I go and actually mess with decorating, I figure out some things that feel right for me, and then some things that I thought were a good idea that I just kind of don't feel like bothering with anymore. I think that you get better with practice. You can rotate a second one to get more jars hanging from it, but then it's kind of like 10 per string light. Yeah. You can buy ornate glow windows with resonance crystals. I have less of those than I have will to run Cinderbrew Meadery. I don't even have all of the Koresh decor yet because I'm out of resonance crystals. I need to do weeklies on my alts. I got to get in like delves and stuff to get more resonance crystals so I can buy the rest of the Koresh decor. I am hard up for those. There's a crafted enchanting. There's a Kazalgar enchanting one I could do. And I could farm the lumber for that. I might end up doing those. Same thing for the lamps. There's the Dornagal enchanting stuff is nice. I might end up making copies of that. Yeah, Crystals of Pain, very expensive. Deleted the first room in the house and made the tiny closet that was left into a bedroom. I think a lot of us are having that same experience where when you first start your house, you give it like huge grand rooms, and then you go to try to like decorate them and fill them, and then you go, ooh. We're just gonna shrink this. It's so much easier to make like cozy feeling rooms when they're not enormous. It's really hard, I find, to do a massive room and make it look good and not just like the Colosseum. What are you most excited for in midnight? The only thing I can really think of is housing. I'm very fixated on it. I know there's other things going on, and I'm sure they'll happen to me when they come out. But right now, it's just get decor, decorate the house. In midnight, there'll be new decor to get and decorate. There's a whale. We were just talking about whales before. You need to have a capital P plan for the big rooms. I was so excited about my idea of filling in the edges of my room with raised platforms, so to make an effect of a sunken pit in the middle to do kind of like a 70s style sunken living room. I wanted to do that so badly. I thought it was such a great idea, and I went to try to set it up, and I realized it's gonna look dumb as hell, because if you have platforms bordering the edges of your room, your doorways are going to have like little tripping ledges on them. Like your doorways, you can't really raise the door nicely. So especially like if you want to have like a small door that actually opens, but even if it's a bigger one, it's gonna look weird. There's probably ways that I could blend it a little better, but I ended up giving up on the whole thing, especially because I didn't want to do it in a square room either. I wanted to do it in like an octagonal room, and trying to Jenga together the floor was just, it was terrible. It was not looking good. When you were deciding which window to get a bunch of copies of, you should also consider future windows. I could. Or I could just let them happen to me. Surprise. Because, you know, there could be windows after that. There could be windows after that. I think if I like something, it's worth getting copies of, regardless. Maybe you'll use it, maybe you won't. Is it Brol Bearmantle that keeps cawing at me? It might be. I was trying to decide how many sconce lights I want to use, because in the game I think they look really nice. But I don't want my room, or my house, I want it to look homey. I don't want it to look too much like a facility. I don't want it giving hotel meeting room. I don't want it giving banquet hall. And I know that some homes do have sconces in them. But in my mind, sconces are kind of restaurant-y. They're kind of facility, you know. When I think of homes, I think of, like, ceiling lights and standing lamps and table lamps. Yeah, lamps. Are you sure you don't want a restaurant? Your kitchen says otherwise. I don't want it to be a restaurant. I want it to feel cozy. I want it to feel homey. I want it to feel a little ugly, to be honest. I want it to remind me of, like, my actual home, which is, you can tell that someone had some thought about making it cute, but then fully gave up when they had to choose between cuteness and function. And then a little clutter piles up because I'm many things, but hyper-organized is not one of them. Scattering a lot of candles around for lighting that feels homey and wow-like. Maybe I should try that. We actually nearly have our 70 lumber. This wasn't too bad. I thought this was going to take longer than it turned out to do. Sconces are cozy. What is your WoW address so we can come see this? I don't think that I can invite people over. I don't think that they let you do that. Even when I was in a public neighborhood, you could start like a raid group if you wanted to invite people over in like real time. But I think that was it. I think that was all you could do. Candelabra is good to tuck in places for good lighting. The lampposts are really funny because, to my knowledge, they still don't let us put most of them outside, which is kind of where they belong. So are people just sticking... I mean, I buried a lamppost in my wall to kind of have it function as like a pseudo sconce, because it was kind of curved. So I stuck it in the wall so that the lamp part was coming out of the wall. Need to add a function to put your house up for touring. I wonder if there's server considerations, or just neighborhood peace and quiet that they're thinking of. I wonder if there's some reason that they don't want to do that. Like, if a big streamer, not me, but like an actual big streamer, put their house up to tour, if it would cause like lag issues for that instance of a neighborhood. They might not be designed to have that many people in them at a time. Some people are making like nature rooms, putting it in them. The outside campus, because on PTR people went nuts, caused major lag issues. I mean, it's a good idea. Even like, that's what PTR is for, because if people can do it on PTR, they're going to do it on live. Some of the weirder lamp posts look okay as indoor floor lamps. Would have to do time slots. Just imagine you're trying to like view a house and it's like, ah yes, there's a queue. When you first played WoW, on what computer and software? I think that's a brand new question. I don't think anyone's ever asked me that before. I was a teenager and I was on my mom's computer. So I didn't really at the time know much about computers and what was in it. I do know it was Windows XP. This would have been 2008, and it wasn't a new computer. We didn't really do new computers, but it was Windows XP. It ran horrifically. I could not load into Dalaran. It was Wrath of the Lich King, and I had to play Wrath of the Lich King without going to the capital city because it would lock up my character. Like the game would crash and I couldn't play. On at least one occasion, I had to go log into my account at a friend's house in Dalaran so I could hearth out of there and free myself. Imagine your neighbor as a neighbor being a famous streamer and dealing with noise and crowds in-game. I think that might be one thing that they want to avoid. They might not want people to create disruptions like that. Parents were gamers, they get new computers, give the old ones to me and my brother. Mom gets newest, dad gets next. Brother 4, me the youngest. That's nice. Get off my lawn. I remember there's 2 computers in the house. The upstairs one, which was the newer one that I tried playing WoW on, had XP. And the downstairs one had a CRT, like a block monitor. And that computer was running Windows 98. I think was the last one it got. It was on 95 for a while, but then they put it on 98. And that's the one that I used to play Neopets on, and I used to watch, like, anime episodes on YouTube. And they took a long time to load. Like, Neopets was a very refresh-based gaming system. I would play cheat on there, and every move you had to load a new page. And you had to sometimes, like, wait a while for the page to load, so I would make sure I had, like, a snack or, like, a cup of tea or, like, sometimes, like, a puzzle so that if the page was taking a long time to load, because you didn't want to reload it. You wanted to let it figure its stuff out. I would have something else to do while I waited. Best advice to returning to retail from stopping the second that Remix came out. Advice for returning to retail. What do you guys think? Do you need advice? My brain's not open enough to figure out what particular things you would want to know. I feel like you didn't quit that long ago. You kind of know what it is. I think you're cool. Yeah, not much has changed. It's WoW. It's always been WoW. It will be WoW again. Housing put me off. I mean, you don't have to. You can skip housing. You can straight skip it. You do not need to touch housing if you don't want to. They're not putting any, like, progression in there. Wait, a basement gaming area. We all had a desk. 2 sharing a desk in a circle. That's adorable. I have enough lumber. We can dunk this in the bank and we can go make those things now. I'm playing classic. Still no 60. People do list open houses as raid groups. I wonder if they would ever come up with something, and this might be too fussy and not enough demand for it, but for housing, you know how in Animal Crossing you can have a dream address and somebody else can asynchronously, so like without you needing to be there inviting them in, at their leisure, they can pull up your dream address and they can go wander around, not like affect anything or make any changes, but they can just kind of tour it whenever they like. I wonder if they would do a version of that for WoW where you could share your house, but it's in like an instance that's not the true neighborhood, so that there's no server pressure on like the actual neighborhood. There's no people disrupting your neighbors, but they could tour your house without anybody in it in kind of like an empty instance. I wonder if that would be possible, and if it was, if they would do that, and if anyone would use it, or if it's just a dumb idea. Because that would solve some of the potential issues with disruption or server pressure that touring a house regularly would have. What are you looking to make with this lumber? Legion alchemy items. I have enough now. I'm just kind of on autopilot. We can probably head back and dunk this in. I was allowed to skip housing? Why didn't he tell me this earlier? Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Something else like that they have in Final Fantasy XIV. NPCs that can sell things, act as bartenders, repair people, vendors. Yeah, I don't think that would be too disruptive. I don't think it's dumb. Warframe does a similar thing, featured dojos. Yeah. It's definitely a concept that's represented in other games. I think they could think about it. One of the guilds I'm in told me if you buy a house, decorating is not optional. Can't wait for pre-patch. At least decorating the outside is not it's not hard if your goal is just to have it decorated to satisfy your guildmates. You know, chuck down some trees in a gazebo, call it nature inspired, and bada bing bada boom. Guild HOAs kill me. It's so funny. I guess I'm from the outside. My guild doesn't care. My guild barely has anybody in the neighborhood at this point. We're a little bit of a ghost town. I would love to use a wardrobe in my house as a transmog changer. I think that would be phenomenal. 3-stream streak, nice. People love window shopping. I was enjoying when I was in a public neighborhood. I was enjoying just walking around and seeing whose house I could go into and like checking out what they'd done with it. That was fun. It's fun to kind of wander through strangers' houses, assuming that they are set up to allow for that. Kamalani Panda, thank you for the 62-month resub. Hi, Hazel. Hi, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Spamming Comp Stomp this week to get the 300 instanced PvP match achievement for those housing items. Yeah, my guild neighborhood is set up. It's pretty quiet at this point. Most of my guildies are very seasonal. They're probably not coming back until midnight. Decor. There, I think, are 4 of us, maybe 5, that have houses at this time. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. There's 5 of us, myself included. 20 Sylvan Elixirs. So I need Dreamleaf. I need 100 of these to make the Sylvan Elixirs, and that will save some of the money from the cutting fountain. Is the fountain filled with Sylvan Elixir? Is that the idea? Just realized that Legion and the Warcraft movie will turn 10 years old this year. Oh man, insert Matt Damon turning old meme. How does one get to a public neighborhood? If you're making the house finder, I think. I want to take a look at it though, because I don't know how it works if you already have your house in a guild neighborhood. I don't know if you can just wander through public neighborhoods that you are not a member of. Maybe. Like without getting invited in or anything. Guild leader pre-ordered the expansion just to make sure housing was set up right for everyone in the guild. Otherwise, he never pre-orders anything. Yeah. Alright, so we need some ancient mana potions. I feel like I should make those too. Yeah, because they're profitable as well. How many of these do I need? I need another 9. Ish. You just made me cough a puff of dust. Kind of neat. Oh yeah, my math was not on. At least we can make some of these things ourselves. I'm excited for this cutting fountain. I'm gonna stick it in my yard. Alright, 25 Demon Steel Bars, 5 Fellwort, some Arcana, and 2 Starlight Rose. I think the other thing is nice as well, the Scrying Pool. Just gets overlooked a little bit. Oh, I need more Ancient Mana Potions. Oh no, I don't have enough of them. I need 1 more Cerulean Seed. I always say Kiddo is Legion years old, but what month did Legion come out? I remember they announced it at Gamescom. It was like summer. I don't know when it came out though. Find an empty plot in another neighborhood, go to view, but instead of purchasing, roam the neighborhood. Make one of these. Actually make 5 of those. She's older then. Remember when game stores used to have a World of Warcraft big box thingy displayed? I remember getting the battle chest. The first 3 expansions, they boxed them together back when they used to make you buy all of them. Nice. Alright, let's go back to our house and play with these for a second before we either do more time walking or the other thing we can do is get started on Kultiran. Told the story a bunch. I was in middle school when Legion came out, started watching your streams. Battle chest made my hip hurt, good old days. Yeah, imagine if you still had to buy all of them. There's been so many, it would be so expensive. It is expensive already. Alright, let's see. I'm gonna kill this tree for a second. That's just the night spider fountain. Did I not learn my fountain? Is it still in my bags? It is still in my bags. There we go. Ah. Well, that's nice too. I feel like it needs another bench. Also, I feel like I made it too big. Maybe 120. Wow, we have a lot of benches. I know I have a lovely situation over here. I don't know if we need to bench again, but if you don't have a bench, then how will you sit and enjoy your fountain? Pardon me. A silver Dalaran bench. Nightborn bench. That bench is real small. There we go. Fountaintopia. Alright, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna take a short break, and when I come back, we've got more decor to get, more ult to level. BRB. Okay. I think that bench is appropriately sized for your dome. Yeah, maybe I made these a little big. What if we bring this back down to where it started? Ish. Because, like, 100 is, like... Pardon me. I got hiccups now. That is pretty small. I guess maybe it is appropriately gnome-sized. I suppose that is what a bench would look like. Oh, pardon me. Hiccups. One of you has to scare me. That's the rule. So, I think I want to... Pardon me. Hop onto, oh, this is gonna be a thing. Hop onto... I hate hiccups. I hate them! Night Flame will get him to level 80. And then we'll do Cultier and Alchemy. He's 77. He's nearly there. Let's get him into a time walking queue. Not the stream hiccups. I hate them too. They feel like a violation of the free will of my epiglottis. Ugh. Here. Ta-da! Fellhammer scouting map. Let's check that off our list. Queue for time walking dungeon. Boo! Can't will be deleted in 3, 2, 1. Hiccups as a kid is funny. As an adult, they hurt. Sometimes as a kid, I would get really big ones that, like, hurt really badly. Just out of control hiccups. What am I doing? Oh, I was gonna check off on my list. I've got my little spreadsheet. I still got a tab open looking at pictures of blobfish underwater. I was trying to redeem the dignity of the blobfish name. So Night Flame has done his troops. He is all set there. They aren't supposed to hurt. I feel like I can't breathe. First you laugh, then you laugh and get them as a medication side effect. Pardon me, it's awful. Have you seen a video clip of a puppy getting mad at his own hiccups? No. No, it sounds cute though. Moose gets hiccups sometimes. He gets them when he's excited. He gets them when he's like trying to hold in excitement that it expresses itself in the form of hiccups. And when he was a puppy, he was so excited all the time that he was just continually hiccuping. He would get like 10 cases of them a day. Nowadays, not so much. Although sometimes if he's staring at the window and there's deer outside, he can't help himself and just starts to hiccup. Weird unable to burp issue. Every time I get hiccups, they put me on the floor. Oh, that sounds awful. Maybe that... Maybe there's a connection between my dog being a prodigal hiccuper and also he's a burping dog. He can really belch, and he will come find you to do it, which is always tickles me right pink. Stand in your head. He will like he'll be eating his dinner and then he'll come see you. You'll be on the couch or something. He'll walk around to make eye contact with you. And he'll look at you and he'll stretch out his head. Like, he'll stretch his neck out and then he'll go blurb. And then he, like, goes back to continue about his day, but he had to come, like, show you. I wonder if it's because I used to laugh whenever he would burp when he was, like, a puppy. It would just make me giggle because it's just really funny. I didn't know before him that dogs even could burp, let alone do it regularly. So I think he does it because he knows I like it. I think he comes to show me, because he's like, yeah, she'll get a kick out of this. I know how to make mom laugh. Yeah, may as well do this while we're waiting for a time walking queue. Sharing is caring. That's exactly how Finley did it. Meditation works for me if I have a hiccups. Not sure if you want to. Oh, I'm out on stream. Someone once gave me the advice to stop getting hiccups by telling yourself that you are not a fish. And I did that and my hiccups stopped. I can make myself not sneeze by acknowledging my sneeze verbally. If I say that I'm going to sneeze, I scare it away and I don't sneeze. Alright. I am not a fish. I'll try anything. I'm not. Oh, I hiccuped. Dog burps in my face every time I kiss her. I hate stopping a sneeze because sometimes then you're stuck with the I need to sneeze feeling. We used to cure hiccups by like, yeah, it looks like you're actually a fish. We used to cure them by, you would put your arms over your head and you would take a deep breath and you would hold it and you would hold it for as long as you could. I think I could have gone on longer, but I don't want to. I don't want to catch an action for fainting on stream. Yeah, I don't know if it's about distracting yourself or if it's about like physically preventing your epiglottis from spasming. I might be okay. We might be cool. Get all the home hacks done at once. That's a great way to get a hug. Yeah, sometimes they would tell us to drink a glass of water. Sometimes you would like mix and mash the solution, so you would like hold your arms over your head, hold your breath, and somebody would like pour water into your mouth, which I think is just waterboarding. Versus when you think it's okay and it happens again slightly later after you think you're cured. Sphinx cat now has her full winter coat, aka she grew 3 hairs on her chin. Oh. Little tiny beard. I've been on this flight path for a long time. We are 5 minutes into an 11-minute dungeon queue. Drinking lots of water while hiccuping sounds like a good way to spew water everywhere. Didn't care about WoW until the summer of 2021. What happened in the summer of 2021? I still love this guy. Yeah, he's got it going on. This top was made for him. I feel like I should put some Demon Hunter tattoos on him, to be honest. Summer vacay in Miami. Playing a Demon Hunter to serve my Lord Illidan. Mad Poke, that's a good question. Someone must have an idea. I feel like it's fast. I couldn't tell you how fast. These are not the people that we need to be doing. Maybe it's me, but Mop Remix was more fun. Legion felt stressed, like you couldn't afford to take a break or fall behind. I felt that the Power Unlimited thing, Limits Unbound, the versatility grind, kind of bummed me out because I didn't mind doing the item level grind, and I appreciated that it was independent from getting bronze for gear. That part was great. But the problem was, once I got to 80 and I got to item level, what was it, like 740 or whatever the cap was for ages, and I thought, cool, so now I'm gonna be powerful, right? And then I found out no. And if you want to be, you need to do a huge additional grind. That kind of took the wind out of my sails. I feel like in Mop, yes, you had to do some work and grind for a few weeks to get your power up, but once you had done that, you felt like it paid off. They didn't kind of gotcha you by moving the goalposts and then having an additional grind. Fastest way to level 10 to 20? Repeat your artifact quest line, I feel like. Because that'll give you a nice chunk. I feel like, especially if you have some XP boosts going on, that'll do it. Rollo's Rune. Collect this rune from Rune Scaled Rollo. Oh, is he not here? He's over here. Gear is big, so is the cloak. It's just that you were god tier with the gear, and the cloak made you the god of gods. Yeah, I got to 740 pretty early, and I eventually got my verse to like 300%. Still didn't feel all that sick. I never really got that feeling that I had a Mop Remix, where I was like, yeah, these people are going to be so glad to have me in this group. Never really happened. And if I had ground the artifact power, I would have, but I don't know. That was my main problem. It's probably a result of my own laziness, really. We need to go see Rune Lord Ragnar. I also feel like running the Mop raids was a little more fun and a little less annoying. The Legion raids had a couple of pain points that, even with gear, were still really frustrating to get to. Iminar comes to mind. A few places in Tomb of Sargeras, even after you were fully geared. And I don't remember that really being a problem in Mop Remix. Here, I'll get the grapple launcher, but I don't need it. They wanted the raids to be harder. I think the whole point of Remix is that you can just run through a raid like it's empty. That's the point. That's why it's fun. Making it a white fest was just kind of demoralizing. That's what I have retail for. And then ENR was always going to be kind of annoying. Even when it wasn't hard, it was just, that's a long fight no matter how you slice it. How's she so one-shotty? I'm doing old content. I am doing Legion content on retail, not in Remix or anything. So I'm one-shotting things just because I'm a few levels up from where they are. Gotta go find Floki's rune. Remix is fun when you have ultimate cosmic power. Mixing and matching of buffs and abilities was more fun in Mop as opposed to just choosing a branch in the weapon tree. Yeah, the weapon tree felt very like you take this thing and then it's hands off at that point. I had some amount of fun summoning the Twisted Crusade thing. I never like tried the other ones much. There didn't seem to be much of a reason to. One time I took an infinite research quest that had me switch to a different one and then kill mobs as that, and I was like, well, that'll be easy to do. It was such a pain to navigate the menu to swap them out that I never did it again after that. I liked the infinite research situation. I liked kind of the daily quest, sort of the emissary style reward structure. That was nice. But yeah, I preferred running through raids in Mop Remix, I think. Also no hidden weapons. In both of them, it was really nice to kind of get the basic raid sets and the dungeon sets just collected really nicely and catch up on a couple of other toys and cosmetics that I was missing. The reputation situation was a bit strange as well. It was odd that they gave, like, it was nice that they gave you a bunch of rep. You didn't, like, aside from the achievement for Remix, in the context of Remix, you didn't really need it for anything. And then once you just ended up getting spammed with these rep tokens and getting just insane amounts of extra Paragon caches, but they couldn't give you the Paragon cache rewards, so they were just kind of like a free quest. It felt a bit weird. It felt weird to be getting so much rep for kind of no reason. Couldn't stomach any more Siege of Orgrimmar. I mainly did I did a Throne of Thunder. I did the earlier raids more in Mop Remix. I didn't do too much Siege. I did some. Did people like the remix keys? That's a good question. Some people must have. I kind of forgot about them. I tried it once or twice and didn't really think about it much after that. I think some people probably had fun just seeing how far you could push a key with like a bunch of the power buff. Like at what point, what becomes the bottleneck? Because there will eventually be a bottleneck. I think that was just kind of fun academically for some people. Yeah, some people really enjoyed those. Yeah, Iron Chain Kini looks great in everybody. Let's go. Got my achieves and I was done. Yeah. Remix was also, and I think they're always going to have this problem because they've just added so many things to do to the game. It was competing with other things. There's other stuff going on at the same time. It was kind of like when they did the Mount event and they also did Winds of Fortune. As soon as, like, I was kind of rushing to get my Remix stuff done before Housing came out because I did not want to be thinking about both. I feel like during Mop Remix, there wasn't as many things going on at the same time. Maybe there were, but I felt like it was a bit of a quieter moment. Yeah, it was like season 4 of Dragonflight. Although, there was Plunderstorm at the same time, wasn't there? I am working on maxing all professions for decor, but I'm not finished yet. Just wanted time to catch up on the stuff I'm behind on. I don't know if we're going to get those windows anymore. I think at a certain point you have to look at what's going on and decide you're going to sit something out so that you can go back and catch up on stuff that you want to do. Either that or find more time to play. That's what I don't like about WoW lately is too many FOMO events running at the same time. Yeah. Oh yeah, the Diablo thing happened at the same time too. They had that like treasure goblin event also. I was glad that one was able to be wrapped up. Like, you were able to get everything from it pretty fast because I did not have the patience. I was not in the mood. Too much stuff. It was time for my daily complaint. I got drenched walking into the office this morning. Still haven't recovered body heat in my extremities. Oh, I'm so sorry. I hate that feeling. Not done with PvP yet for the season. Really hoping I can get it in the next 2 weeks. I can't believe we're so close to pre-patch. I'm not prepared. I don't know what's going on. You guys will have to tell me. Finally getting some transmog upgrades. Just from time walking gear. Granted January. Gale force winds with pouring rain this morning. Go figure. We're going to get some pretty heavy rain this week. I just don't go out in it as much now. I just end up staying inside, which is nice and warm, but I end up spending a lot of time inside. I need to just strap on the raincoat and the rain pants and just get out there anyway. It's like 50 Fahrenheit out yesterday. So weird. So one nice thing about when it starts raining really heavy is it usually means that it warmed up. Umbrella did nothing except turn me into a Mary Poppins wannabe. Yeah, umbrellas in the wind are hilarious, but not always a good idea. I haven't bothered with one since I got out of high school, really. I don't even own one right now. Pre-patch was always one of my favorite times in WoW. Then I got ATT and I've never felt stressed like this before. Funny that people complained about the time-gated releases of events last year, and then Blizzard had a month or two of all these events. People complained about having too much at once. Pick a lane. Yeah. I'm team time-gating. I'm in favor of time-gating. Controversial take, I know, but I would rather Blizzard pace us, because I will not pace myself, and I will complain when I burn out when I don't pace myself. I need them to do it for me. Don't give me everything at once. Yeah, time-gating to an extent. I think a lot of the negative, also I'm level 80. A lot of the negative vibes around time gating came from when there was barely any content coming out, and the new content was time gated for what felt like no reason, just to stretch it out. Like a patch would come out, the only new content in that patch would be a quest line, and you could only do like 10 minutes of it per week. And you knew that you were going to unlock something in like 6 weeks of that. That was annoying because it was it just felt very artificial. And they were pacing a very small amount of content over a big period of time without anything else going on. That's not the situation anymore. The only time I didn't like time gating was Dastardly Duos. Oh my god, I forgot about Dastardly Duos. I don't know what would have made that event better. If I'm going to be unkind for a second, I think the thing that would have improved that event is just to not do it. I think that was the finest example of more is not better. Not everything needs to exist. The best possible thing about it was that it was limited and now it is gone. I don't have to think about it anymore. Around. It was certainly an event that happened. DD was so random. I hadn't thought about it in from the time they took it down until just now when you mentioned it. Had not thought about it. Because it was also layered over other stuff. Other stuff was going on at the same time. Not that it really would have been improved much. Honey? Meow. Not that it would have been improved much by focus. Didn't make sense. Yeah, just a strange thing. I think whatever they were going for was not fully realized. Not every idea is going to be a banger. Hi, Kira. It is her speech time. We hear you. Baby girl. Felt that way about Plunderstorm. I was like, what's this? Plunderstorm grew on me a lot when I played it. Specifically when I played it with Flabby. Which I think is cheating. But I had a lot of fun playing Plunderstorm with a friend. But then when they brought it back, I wanted them to do another theme. I thought the pirates were fun once. I don't want recolored pirate loot. I want you to pick a new zone and a new theme and let us get new stuff, you know? I don't think they're going to do it. But I thought at first that, oh, we're going to do pirates this time and then maybe we'll get ninjas, but no. Love Plunderstorm, want new cosmetics. The point of Siren's House to get the mob transmoggen. That's all. Farm some flame blessed iron. It was not bad as a collectibles patch. There was kind of a nice little cross section of interesting farms. I don't want to do all the wardens. That's a later me problem. This guy's level 80. That was kind of the goal. Want some event in Strength Vale. Yeah, Plunder does go with Pirate. I think that in my dream they would name it something else. I thought that they were gonna kind of reskin the whole thing. But I guess they're committed to pirates. What happened to the scary game? Blizzard should know better than to announce things that aren't done. I don't know how they haven't figured this out by now. Maybe they thought that the previously announced and then canned games are the sins of previous people, and we're younger and we're definitely not going to do that again. I think... Maybe it'll come out eventually, but I don't know. I am team don't announce a thing until it's frickin' finished. And the only question is, when are you publishing it? When you see Ian on a lunch break, can you ask him? Was there a date for it? I don't know. Makes them sound desperate. It's just, it makes me feel like they were just... And right now, I'm not really thinking about the scary thing. I've kind of forgotten the details of that. I'm more thinking about when they announced a survival game that they later just gave up on completely. Because they were like, oh, we're going to hire for a survival game. And they had a piece of concept art. I think that they say that when they just need a piece of good news. They don't have anything ready to go. And they're like, well, we need something. We got to put something on the feeds. What do we got? Nothing? Okay. Let's promise nothing and see how that goes. Scrapped something recently, can't remember. Two were related, thought it was survival horror style. I think they were different things. I don't know what happened to the spooky one. I don't care. I refuse to get excited about anything until it's actually, like, happening. Otherwise, it's just a waste of your emotional energy. Alright. Cult Tier and Alchemy, that's what we're doing next. Feels good if we had a content break. It's overwhelming. Speaking of scary games, I went to the grocery store the other day. I don't even know if there needs to be any more to that story. I think that's funny all by itself. Alright, Cult here in Alchemy. I'm 61 in, so we're partly there. Let's go to Borealis. Grocery store shopping is survival horror. I was in a grocery store and a man was walking towards me in the aisle, and you know, that's fine, he's loud. But then he started coughing, just like about himself, with no effort made to cover anything. And I had to pass him, and I held my breath for the entirety of that aisle. It's like, I don't want to breathe any of this air. I'm gonna come back. Oh. Thank heavens for grocery delivery. Got my 1800 Metapet. Nice. If you were farming herbs in Wrath, would suggest Old War. There we go. Borealis. Taking a break from cleaning up. How's it going? Hi. It's going pretty good. I've been mixing together profession leveling and decor crafting with alt leveling. So Night Flame has gone from 70 to 80 today. Boy is another fresh 80. Barnacles 2. Getting through a couple of these alts. The announcements are pretty clearly for quarterly investor reports. Well, it begs the question of, are the investors new here? They wouldn't need to do a whole lot of research to find out that announcing something like that at that stage in its development is wishful thinking. Let me pull up BFA 1 through 175. This could be expensive, but we're partly in anyway. So I'm at 60. From 50 to 65, they want us making rank 2 coastal rejuve potions, which I can do. Also, I think I can get Order of Embers revered. I must be. I played this character in BFA. I guess I should check before I head out there. Order of the Embers is Drustvar, right? Yeah. Here-ish? You've inspired me to meow back at my cat when she screams at me like that. What did she do? She notice? She react? Breath gets shallow when I'm in an elevator with other people. I used to, even before COVID, I used to hold my breath when I was walking by other people on the side of the street. Just because, not because of any kind of disease reason, but just because I had this thing where I didn't want to smell anybody's, like, perfume or cologne or anything. Like, not that it even smelled bad, but for whatever reason, I did not want to smell it. And just in case they had that, or, you know, body odor, whatever it would be, I would just, like, time my pace and their pace, judge that while I was walking my dog. And then I would just, not conspicuously, but I would just kind of pause breathing for, you know, 10, 20 seconds until I was like well past them outdoors. Yes, my cat is meowing. This is kind of her speech hour. At some point during stream, she usually sets up over there. She does meow. Still wear masks because I kind of enjoy not getting sick. Keep finding brick chunks in bizarre places in the underpart of my cat water fountain. Wow, indeed. I might, next time, I might check in with her in a minute. I don't think she needs anything, but sometimes she appreciates just, you know, someone coming by to say meow. Honey bear, I'm right here. I'm not far from her. That's part of why you can hear her so well, is there's kind of a straight line. One rank 3 coastal rejuvenation potion. Excellent. Make it more efficiently. Save a little bit on some materials here. Did a door close? No. She just kind of said what she needed to, I think. She's just very verbose today. Sometimes she sounds like she really means it. You're not listening to me. I said meow. So if we're gonna make these guys, we can probably get by with doing those for a bit. Might even be able to buy some of these instead of making them, because they're, well, Storm's Wake. I might just pop up to the Storm's Wake vendor as well, actually. I'm gonna have the reputation for it. Update on my learning to knit journey. I found a step-by-step sweater pattern and yarn. Nice. You're so brave for starting with a sweater. Oh, man. I don't think I am going to pick up knitting again, but if I ever did, I think I would start with like washcloths or something. Something very small and very square. Oh, there you go. Started with dishcloths and coasters. Okay, okay. Not your first project then. That's good. If I could put my house in any zone, I would put my house here. I love it here. This is so nice. This is not where I'm going, actually. This is where I'm going. Starting the Tauren Druid because of the Urbing bonus. This is your fault. I'll take credit for that. It's a 1,000 gold recipe. I don't know if that's actually going to be worth it. Anyway, I don't think we'll have too much trouble getting this leveled. Sweater pattern has an entire 2-hour YouTube video walking through the entire process. Nice. Everyone should have a Tauren Druid. Perhaps even 3 or 4. I like Petal Bloom. Petal Bloom's a high mountain Tauren Druid. She's a good lumber alt. I was item level 715 to do Kaibeza. I think I show my gear at some point. In not like thoroughly, but in the YouTube video. Love to pick up knitting again. I miss it. I love fiber crafts, especially this time of year, but I have a hard time kind of remembering to do them, or like they're competing with video games is the trouble. It's hard to sit down and work on like a cross stitch when there's like Stardew or Animal Crossing or WoW like right there. Do I have the Pepe diving helmet? I'm not sure if I do. Alchemy, 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 alchemy. Here we go. So let's get some Siren's Pollen. We'll make some of these. Wow, fishing is most of the reasons I end up reading books. I use better fishing and read. Listen for the sound cue. Saw it on a WoW Facebook short. We just need to get this to 140. The mana pots, I think, are pretty cheap. Actually, the health pots are pretty cheap too, but I'm getting points for them right now. And you have to use your hands and the keyboard or mouse. Hard to do with craft with your hands. Maybe we need voice activated. Wow. I mean, some people will happily and effectively watch television or listen to podcasts while they stitch or knit or whatever it may be. I guess that's also stitching. I can't. I can put on a music. I can put on an album or something at most. But if it's anything more than that, I lose count. I have to count. Brain shift, wow, yeah. I have to focus a little too much. I can handle music. I need to get into another music album. I kind of played out the ones I was listening to. I'm sure there's something new that I could get into, but I don't know. I don't have anything loaded up. It's kind of a quiet era for music release. Nobody really comes out with stuff in January. Mom reads her book, watches TV, and knits at the same time, and I have no idea how she does it. So up to 92. At some point we're going to be making rank 2 potions of like strength and stuff. I should check in with the potion trainer. Wow, that's a lot of recipes. Oh, so we have them. We could get a 3rd rank. We go back to the order here. Let's go talk to... There must be a quartermaster for the faction that's here in this city. Must be. And maybe that will be nice. Because perhaps it will give me a recipe that will not be so far away. Because I don't want to go back. I forget where the quartermaster is. I even forget what the faction is. Tiergard people? Proudmoore Admiralty. Proudmoore Admiralty. I'm just assuming that they're going to have a thing. I don't know for a fact. Provisioner Frey is our emissary, and she is kind of on the tips of the dock over here somewhere. Right? Don't know how to... Oh, she's in the Harbor Master's office. Stands... in here? There she is. Learning how to paint lava texture while watching this stream. Lava and rock. Nice. There are some recipes. Some of these are gonna get me farther than others. I'll just... Which one do I want? Battle Potion of Intellect, perhaps? Yeah. Not bursting blood. I don't think I need the Coastal Mana Potion one. I don't think it's gonna help me any more than the Health Potion one did. Okay, so I've got the full rank of that. I guess we'll just make these... They're going to be kind of expensive at this point. That's 85 gold a pop. 90, 80, 60, 90, 300. $941, 625. Huge profit. Oh, it's champion equipment. Like, who wants a vial of obfuscation? Okay, so this sucks at this point. Battle potions of stamina are probably the cheaper one. Sea stalks and star moss, maybe? It's not going to be that much cheaper. 6 gold, 4 gold, 5 gold, 5 gold. It's going to be kind of the same thing. I think I'm just going to make these ones. This sucks, though. It's going to be expensive. It's just a lot of herbs. I could herb. I could. Let's see. I think it would take me a long time, though, to get 200 of these, and then let's get 200 of these. It'll be a bit overkill. to drop like 3K and save myself a bunch of time. Why when I look up knitting patterns do I get crochet patterns? These are not the same thing, Google. That gets it yellow. We just need to get to 140. And once we're at 115, we can get rank 2 flasks. It gets so expensive, though. Rank 3 flask of Endless Fathoms. Because we'll be able to get another rank of these. I miss my Shadow Priest. Let's do it again. Suppose I will get used to Tentacle Crush. I think with time we will. At least it looks nice. It's got that going for it. This is my last alchemy that I have to level. I just need to remind myself of that. Once we're through this one, I'm done with alch. I will have leveled all of it, if not having made everything. So at 117, I can learn another thing from the trainer. I was lulled into a false sense of security by how cheap and easy the early ones were. These later points are spendy. And like during the expansion, it's not so bad. Because you, during the expansion, it's not bad at all because you can sell these things like people need them. Nowadays, not so much. Undertow, Fathoms, or Vast Horizon. 280, 213, Vast Horizon looks like the cheapest one. And Provisioner Fray has the 3rd rank of it, which will maybe carve a bit of the materials off of it. Let's see. Because we're going to need to make a few of them. Making sure that none of these come up. Flask of the Currents. Suspiciously has... I mean, it's still not profitable, so I think it doesn't matter. I was just seeing if it was needed for, like, as a reagent for anything else. It's a reagent for mystical cauldrons and tinctures of fractional power. I don't think I'm gonna worry about it. Whatever it's for, we don't need it. Sniffing around for any place that we can save a bit of gold. Vast Horizon, that's the one. So what is it that we're gonna get? So right now it's taking 5, 10, and 15 to make a flask. When we learn this, still 5, 10, and 15. Oh, it's a chance to create multiple flasks. That was a waste of gold. I'm silly. I assumed it was going to reduce the materials, because in Legion, that's generally how it works. For BFA, the 3rd rank, and it tells you right there, the 2nd rank reduces the materials required, and the 3rd rank is just a multi-craft chance. Which does me no good, because no one wants them. Oh well. Whoops. 170 gold. 170 gold per point. Alright. Fine. Yeah, I guess it would make it stay yellow and orange longer, that's true. 23 of these. Alright, let's do some math. And by do math, I mean make the computer do it for me. 2K worth of those. 230 of these. 345 of these. Yeah. A little spendy. Not the worst thing that's ever happened to me. Okay. See if that does it. Keep forgetting to farm the death metal rare and dark moon. This should get me to 140. the guitar weapon really fun. I feel like I never see it. I also forget what the actual decor is that you get for Culture and Alchemy. We'll see. Be nice to get the last bits in. Because I think I finished enchanting as well, so that'll be my priest's profession sorted. Hazel, how is your Animal Crossing Island news of the day? It's good. I'm looking forward to hopping on and checking out what's going on. Because I restarted my island so recently, I'm still kind of like unlocking stuff. I don't have like a clothes shop yet, so I've just been wearing outfits cobbled together from stuff my villagers are giving me, and like nook shopping shirts and stuff. I did manage to randomly catch a string fish with like no effort, which was bizarre for me. Normally those things take me ages. But I found a large shadow and I just managed to pull it up. I'm terrible at the Animal Crossing fishing minigame. It usually really stresses me out because I psych myself out and I pull it too early. Or I'm too slow. It's really hard for me to get in the zone where I can nail it every time. There is some time gating in the beginning of Animal Crossing. Yeah, there's things that you have to wait days for them to come up, and there's times when you kind of need to wait for some things to kind of catch up before you can do more. But you can still like live your life. I have a dog that is so lazy she will not move if I throw food at her, and she won't come for treats either. Been in a Mortal Kombat run recently. Quite surprising what happens to people's ribs, eyes, and neck. Lovely massage. Chiropractic adjustments. So we're looking at making a Borealis bottle lamp, which appears to be the tiniest thing, at least in the preview. It's only going to take 5 lumber, though. Oh, I have lots of lumber. I don't even need to go lumbering. Nice. Okay, so these things should be easy. I can just crank these out. The Zandalari bottle shipment is the second thing. This seems like the only thing that you could put next to your bar. Or like on a shelf underneath it. Yeah, I, as a rule, never time travel in Animal Crossing. I think for me, and me personally, it would ruin the game for me. I know lots of people like playing like that. I think it would break my whole engagement with it. I'm funky like that. Strange things can dislodge my engagement with the game. I was playing Valheim recently with Flabby. We were doing a new run, and we decided to, for once in our lives, do the setting that allows you to take metal through portals in Valheim. Normally you have to run it back in the boat, but we had turned on the server setting that allows you to run through the portal with it, and I started doing that, and I was like, this feels like cheating. I know this is a setting that the game has, but I feel like I've cheated. I didn't earn any of this. Speaking of dislodgement, that also happens in Mortal Kombat. Alright, we have a bottle shipment and a bottle lamp. I kind of want to pop by the house and plonk that bottle lamp down. I am now nearly finished. 95% done with alchemy on account of this insanely expensive apothecary's work table. Lots of expensive materials there, namely just the 8 Black Lotus. Woof. Everything else you can kind of handle. But yeah, cooking done, enchanting done. Engineering halfway there, bizarrely. Mostly through shopping and not through crafting. Reconstructed Mogu lightning drill. A Draenei Stargazer telescope. This is cute. Let me find out. Because I have the other Draenei engineering item. Let me go on to WoW Undermine Exchange. Draenei Star Gazer's telescope. So they cost 12k on my server, but if I go shopping on Illidan, they're 6,300. They're 6,500 in Area 52. Sometimes I'll spend an extra 100 gold or so just to get it on a server that I already have an alt on. So glad Undermine Exchange has an app version. Oh, do they? That's cool. So I have definitely an Area 52 character. I guess I should check to see if I have an Illidan character as well. Wormrest, Kil'jaeden, Dalaran, Thrall. There's Area 52. My Proudmoore alt is called Proudmoo. They're all Volpera, and they're all rogues. They don't need to be rogues. Volpera is nice because a Volpera character just starts in Orgrimmar. You don't have to do any amount of anything to set them up. You can literally create the character, hop on your mount, and buy something. So I'm going to need 6,500, but we're going to get ourselves a nice telescope. I'm calling this a strategic investment because it would probably maybe cost me more than that to level Draenor Engineering. And I have the other item already. Maybe. It's the idea that the rogue can rob the auction house blind. Yeah. We're just helping alleviate the oversupply problem on some of these servers. There's too many of them on this server, and therefore I'm going to take one. Ta-da! There we go. That's me done with WAD engineering. Drill, auto hammer, failed failure detection pylon. Some of these things I should just work order from Flabby. I'm sure he has this stuff done. Certainly the Kazalgar ones. I guess what I can do is I could farm the lumber for him and I could put in crafting orders to him. And that way I could get him for cost. Or take a little break from decor because we've gotten a couple of pieces and pick another alt to start time walking up to level 80 here. Got a couple of alts up today. Who else is not 80 that ought to be? I can't believe Nightflame's starting at 70 and he's just gone straight to 80. I suppose I should do my Death Knight as well. She would also be a DPS queue, but she can do some campaigning at the same time. You don't tip him? Sometimes. A Black Lotus. What, you trying to clear Nax? Yeah, tipping Flabby would be a little bit like including extra on your Amazon order from Bezos. Maybe you really appreciate the service, but he may or may not need it. This character has recruited 9 troops. I'm gonna go pop by the Risen Horde and see if there's any more of them we can pick up. Oh, and we're going to stick in her queue. That's right, because she is going to be leveling. 1 TBC time walking. I also need to remember on this, at some point, pop back on Nightflame. Probably after stream, pop back on Nightflame and go turn in his thing in Shattrath. It's 200 badges that I can't afford to leave behind. Oh no! Oh no, I'm tanking! Oh no! Oh, I've already agreed. Alright, well, we're Blood Spec. What weapons do Blood Death Knights use? They use two-handed weapons. I have a two-hander, that's good. Single button assistant there. I don't know. Do you think with Midnight there will be more decor hidden behind Paragon boxes worth farming those not opening? No, because even if they do, I think that the odds that they, even if they did add decor to Paragon boxes, the odds that they would retroactively put them in boxes sitting in your bags, not high. Often with something like that, the way it works is you would need to farm new boxes anyway. So I think you'd be gambling on 2 unknowns by doing that. Hooray for 1 button. We'll see how well it works for tanking. I don't even have tanking plates on right now, but as long as everybody's fine, I think we can just kind of auto run and hope for the best over here. Hazel, I saw a video on YouTube where someone uploaded an episode of Pluribus. Everyone mind controlled, speaks an Animal Crossing language. It's beautiful. I haven't watched that show yet. I'm going to at some point, but I haven't seen it yet. It'll be fine. Just press blood boil. Yeah. Something like that. 1 button seems to have some vague idea of what to do here, so I think that's fine. We just want to make sure that we're moving. That we're pulling, but not too much, but not enough. And that we're heading in the vague direction. The good news is I know my way through under rods, so I don't have to worry about being lost. Default UI sucks at identifying things that you've lost aggro on. Smile and wave, Hazel. Smile and wave. Try not to turn my back too much. Here, let's grab this big guy. Let's backpedal. I'm just going to press a variety of buttons. Also, for whatever reason, I have the wrong UI on. Edit mode. Hazel tank. Thought I could get my pally map faster in retail than remix. Turns out that the quest requires you to progress Zarmar, have ancient mana. Yeah. That's rough. I remember doing that. I think I remember that annoying me. Because I did Paladin Mountain Anthos not crazy long ago. It was before remix, but it wasn't ages ago. I didn't mean to tank. I guess it was a faster dungeon queue. I did not mean to. I was gonna come through as unholy. I figured maybe I would apocalypse my way to the quest guy that gave me the hidden artifact appearance. I thought that might be kind of nice. Have the druid hidden artifact left, then have them all. Nice. This is going all right. I don't love being in front. I don't like walking in front for anything. I don't want to be the first person into a room in any party of people. I end up in awkward standoffs with my husband because of it, because he's a real gentleman, so he opens the door for me to go into rooms and stuff, and I like don't want to go in first, so we go after you. No, after you. Ladies first. Why? It's good. Who wins? Ideally, sometimes what happens is that both of us realize that we're making things worse at the same time, so both of us decide to just go first at the same moment, so that in order to bypass the situation. But then if you both come to that conclusion at the same time because you share one brain cell, because you've been hanging out together a lot, then you end up bumping into each other. It's an absolute Mr. Bean sitcom. I usually end up going first. I've learned. You could just wink and sashay through. I just don't like going into places first. I don't know why. I get there and I don't know what to do. Like I'll get there and someone will greet me and I'm like, hello, I don't know why I'm here. Don't talk to me. Survival skill. Yeah. Just in case there's zombies in there, gonna need you to go first. People are generally with me here. Let's do a nice big pull. We haven't been taking a lot of damage here. And as far as I know, nothing in here, nothing in here. Like silences. There's some healers. But people are getting them down. Are you trying to sacrifice him if there are zombies? No! Definitely not. Go through and step to the side and wait for the door opener to join me if I am the opening. That's smart. You can take him, yeah, he's tough. We were talking recently about whether or not he should come on stream because, I don't know, at a certain point we're not really keeping any secrets anymore. He can welcome to come on. I was asking him how he feels about it because, like, it's one thing for me to be on screen and be aware of what that does to my privacy, but that's not a decision I can make for another person. And he's like, well, what do you think? And I'm like, it's your decision. I literally can't tell you this one. He's like, yeah, but like, what's your take on it? He's cute. Never had to go into a room with zombies in them. Mystery man, yeah. Asked my partner to sleep on the side of the bed closest to the hotel room door, and he said, so I can die first? Well, yes. Why is a heck of a response to ladies first. So yeah, let's pause in the doorway to this establishment to debate the benefits and downsides of late stage feminism. This is a good moment for that. High school teachers go into rooms full of zombies all the time. You know them as teenagers. Teenagers terrify me. Don't know if your husband plays WoW or not, but if he doesn't, it would be fun to watch him learn how from you. That would be cute. Content with seeing your various pets. Yeah, usually part of my motivation for keeping like my personal life somewhat private is to, you know, have things that aren't for content, but I think at this point having him on camera wouldn't make my marriage for content. I don't think he's gonna pop on stream once and then all of a sudden be like, all right, listen babe, how are we gonna get those views up? Patients are teenagers and makes me feel infinitely older and not cool anymore. Ah, you're still cool here. I saw some YouTube video where teenagers were trying to guess the age of various adults. And this one kid kept talking to people who were like 30 and being like, oh man, you still got drip, but you can tell the drip is almost out. It's almost done. There's about to be no more drip left. Holy moly, dude. Woof. Just a little ruder than he needed to be. I feel like these people have been very patient with my tanking. I could probably pull a lot more and be fine. We haven't really been in danger this whole time, but nobody's been like, go, go, go. Maybe they're watching podcasts and one button rotationing too. I did stick my one button on my bar. I haven't been using it though, actually. So let me get this guy. I do love Death Grip. It's kind of fun. Yeah, I probably could do bigger pulls. We're almost done with the dungeon. I suppose I could keep tanking to level this character. It would be much faster Qs, but it's just less comfy. Drip, like all the hip kids and the cool cats. I know fashion is cyclical. I wonder if language is to some extent too, or if it's more of an ever-marching road. I wonder if any of like the cool slang of yesteryear is gonna make a comeback, or if it's just new words only. I swear being in your 30s doesn't seem like it's old until you hang out with 20-somethings. My niece roasts my husband and I on the daily. Yeah, I'm the youngest person that I know aside from my own nephew, who is a toddler, so he still thinks I'm cool. That'll end. At one point, that drip is gonna run out too. Oh, I made it crooked. Oh well. But aside from that, I'm the youngest person I know, so nobody makes me feel old. If you exclusively hang out with people older than you, you get to be a spring chicken forever. Language and slang getting more obscure. Here's an age tell. I had to Google what drip means. I'm aware of what drip means. I don't know why they say that. Fit makes more sense to me. When people say like a fit check, I can translate that one based on context. That's just an outfit. Drip really implies more water to me. If there's a reason why it is that, I'm a little worried that maybe it's too much for me. Alright, so that got me to 73. That is not the time walking dungeon I meant to queue for. Let's queue for the DPS one. It would take longer to get into it, but we can go unholy. We can use Apocalypse. It said the clothes drip off of you. Yeah, drips a lot of sweat. Shatrath. Let's pop by Shatrath. Her Hearthstone takes her to Orgrimmar, so I'll have a Shatport from there. That'll be good. Solid liquid gas. I don't know. So after we're done with liquid-based fashion being drip, do we move on to gas-based fashion being poof? Yo, check out the poof! That outfit was dust! Somehow I feel like I'm not going to be originating any new slang terms. Shatrath. Just works. I was recently curled up on my couch playing Animal Crossing, reflecting on my age. Not that I'm too old to curl up on my couch and play Animal Crossing, nobody is. But I was like, okay, so I'm 33. When my mom was 33, what was she doing? And there's a rabbit hole you should never go down. I think that when my mom was 33, I think I was almost a teenager at that point. I was like an older, like a tween maybe. No, that can't be right. That's not how math works. There's no way. I have it backwards. How old was I when my mom was 33? She is like 22 years older than me or something. So I would have been like 10, 11? Yeah, not a tween, but not far off. She was parenting. She had a mortgage, she had a job. I am doing none of, well, actually I guess I have a mortgage now. I suppose I have a job. Doesn't look a lot like her job did. Oh, she had a commute, man. Must be going downstairs. But yeah, I don't think you would have caught her curled up on the couch playing a video game. I don't even remember if I ever saw her sit down to read a book. Sometimes in the evenings, like our family would watch TV together. Like we would all put on like Survivor or Law and Order or The Amazing Race. I can't imagine unwinding with Law and Order now. Maybe it's because I watched too much of it as a kid. It's not relaxing to me anymore. I don't know if people in the 50s were talking about skibbity toilets. Hard no for me with gas-based fashion. Any wind, instant malfunction. You have a commute. Kitchen, living room, to your streaming room. Yeah. Yeah, bedroom's all the way over there. How we doing? 200 badges from that. Couple minutes in a time walking queue. We're level 73 and a half. Nearly 74. It really is like 3 dungeons, like solidly 3 dungeons to get from 70 to 80. It's not so bad. I think we're gonna do like one more. Is there any particular hero talents I should go for? Does it matter? This one has the word apocalypse in it, so maybe we'll do that. I don't know what any of these things do. Oh, spending runes has a chance to call the aid of a horseman for 10 seconds. It's nice that Death Knights have friends. Do you like her Mog? She has, for the longest time, been wearing a mix of Mag'har Orc heritage armor and then these, like, Maldraxxus bone wings. And I always thought that made for, like, the sickest Death Knight. Horseman, yeah. Although, I think that this chest piece was designed to be worn either with a belt or with taller pants than these, because I like how the harness just kind of stops. Man, horse believe. You ever think about all the sacrifices seahorses are making? Every day. Get rid of any stuff out of our bags here. Another head of Onyxia. They must have been in Mudsprocket farming something. I think I was farming transmog because I got Onyxia's mount a long time ago. So I think I was there trying to get transmog. Back when I first started trying to 100%. Oh no, I want to sell that Ragville. Back when I first started to 100% that kind of thing. Doesn't have Auctionator on. Now that I'm done with alchemy, I gotta figure out which profession's coming next. What's getting leveled next? I'm starting to run low on them. We've got leatherworking, we've got blacksmithing, we've got engineering. Although I've been kind of just shopping my way through engineering. Feels like a reasonable thing to do. I guess I could try and finish engineering one way or another. Because I wouldn't need to do all of them. I think it'd just be a lot of shopping. It would be a lot of lumber farming to just start chopping. But it would be nice to have that one done. Because then it's just leatherworking, which I'm going to do, and blacksmithing, which I'm going to do. I suppose I could look through and I could see who has the cooler stuff. Like, which stuff am I more likely to use? The rolled rug is gorgeous. It's a nice bed, too. Pandaran bed. The leatherworking stuff is maybe not for me. The couch is funny. What about the blacksmithing decor? What does blacksmithing make? So I have the classic and outland stuff already. I didn't finish decorating the kitchen. I don't know if I'm going to. I might rip it apart and start over. Oh, I need the pitchfork. Cataclysm blacksmithing for a Gilnean pitchfork decor. My greenhouse needs it. Hard need. Alright. We're DPS in this one. No biggie. Also, I think this is going to be maybe the last thing we get through on stream today. Because I can tell that stream time's nearly over because I'm hungry. Why are there so many quests here? Shattered halls, I guess. Tank isn't loaded in yet, but that's alright. I just need to start casting Apocalypse, because the more times I cast Apocalypse, the more chance I have for the special one to spawn. And then we're going to make sure we're looting, because we're supposed to loot a thing from the special one when it dies. But there will be like a chat message or a yell or something. You can do it on the... You can do... Oh, hey, it's Dad's Grim! Death Knights are so cute. They just call their buddies in. Still waiting for that Brewmaster to zone in. Oh, they're moving. They're here. And Apocalypse again. One day. I need the hidden artifact appearance for DK so that I can get another piece of decor for them. One of the things I'm missing. Death Knights continue to be my favorite plate class. What if my real problem with Death Knights is that they look cold? Hi, Hazel, love your hair. Oh, thanks, Mason. Appreciate that. To be honest, I trimmed my bangs this morning, and for the first time in a long time, I think I overdid it. I think they're too short. They'll grow back in like 30 seconds. My hair grows really fast. But I don't normally take quite this much off of them. Partly why you don't like Frost Mage. Yeah. Inherent bias against cold classes. Rester Shamans too. That water don't look warm. Best thing about hair, usually grows back. Look fine normal to me. Aw, shucks, thanks. That's all you can ask for. They're out of my eyes now, which is good. The worst part about long bangs is they're just in your face all the time. Touching eyelashes gets cut. I feel like if you're, I guess not everybody does this. Some people just like either have slower growing hair or they visit the hairdresser very often. But for me, I think part of having bangs is learning how to cut them at home, because mine need trimming every 2 weeks. I got to do it like twice a month. I could not be at a salon that often. Don't even like when it's touching my eyebrows. Part of my favorite thing about having them again is that if I'm gonna do makeup anyway, having bangs means that I don't need to put foundation on my forehead. There's no point. It's just gonna get on my hair. You can go through foundation about half as fast. Every month I'm like, something feels wrong, and it's my bangs. Hey, upgrade. Do it like every day, have shears, yeah. Yeah, I keep a little set of hairdressing scissors in my bathroom drawer. But works out. Yeah, micro cuts. Worst part is it makes a mess. Oh, my pony. I'm a paladin. This is kind of cool. I forgot the Death Knights were cool. Baby bangs for life. A few more days till Lemix ends. Still haven't bought all the stuff from the vendors. I have a towel where the tiny bits fall. I used to like lay out like a trash bag or towel or something over the sink and then lean over the sink to trim them there, and then it would all get caught. Nowadays, I just, and maybe this is part of my problem, I just pinch them together and snip them off while my fingers are holding them, and then I can just chuck it in the trash. Just a little bit, like it's long enough that I can hold on to it. And that works real good. As long as I don't have to do multiple steps of it. When I used to shave my hair, that used to make such a mess. I would have done it outside if I had had an outside at that point. I have an outside now, but I'm also not buzzing my hair anymore. I think this is going to be a good experience. There's a bunch of quests we can do in here. Do you still buy those WoW canvases like the ones behind you? You collected all expat canvas. No. I never collected them all. I got one batch of them once when I picked them up. I bought a bunch of them in 2017 because they were on clearance. At the time, I did not get all of them. Either one of them was not available, or I think maybe what happened is it wasn't on sale. I do not and never have had a Wrath of the Lich King canvas. I have classic TBC, Wad Mop, and Kata. And that's where it stops. I think starting with BFA, they didn't make them anymore. But I only ever bought them the once. I never filled in gaps, and I never got any more. I don't have room to display anymore. I feel like I like the ones I have, and I have the ones I like. Haven't been to my hairdresser in 5 years now. Learned how to trim my ends when I feel like it. Call it good. Yeah. I like going to a hairdresser, but it's so much money. And I've kind of learned how to cut my hair myself. What about the roof? It's on fire. Bedroom ceiling. That's where the giant poster of Illyria goes. I was coloring my hair. I liked having someone else do it. Au naturel now matters less for me. Yeah, exactly. Right before you go to bed, you look up and there's Arthas. Nice. Alright, wait for the NPCs to catch up and we can turn a couple quests in. That got me to 77. Actually, those quests aren't worth very much experience. I forgot. It's time walking. The quests aren't really worth anything. Ooh. New weapon. Two-hander. Don't need that one. Those are better. Getting a couple of upgrades. Yeah, XP boost is massive for time walking. I find you can go from 70 to 80 in about 3 dungeons. It's real speedy. Guess I'll be doing that tonight. When the Mysterious Fortune is coming back with pre-patch? I think they changed their mind. They had originally announced that, and then they re-released the announcement without that. I think they're chickening out of that. Get rid of a couple more troops here. Womp womp. I remember because I wanted to use like undermine market research for rep for Paragon caches or something. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Here, before I forget, let's turn in his thing in Shattrath. Dragonflight resources are so plentiful. Resonance crystals, this X pack is scarce. Heard they changed the percent bonus. Ooh, maybe. Almost done with Remix. Just have the class mounts and the Remix specific achievements. How much longer is left of Remix? You guys will tell me when I have to log in for the last week, right? One of you will let me know. Pardon me. Oh no, not hiccups again. We just did this. Shattrath. Less than 10 days. Okay. So not last week, but almost there. After this, I want to look at my character selection screen and have a think about if all of them are going to get leveled to 80. It's not hard to level them up to 80, but a few of them are just extraneous. Remember, Hazel, you are not a fish. What if I am, though? What if I was? What if this is how I find out that I've been a mermaid this whole time? Gotta do the Hardcore Hunter World Quest. Ooh, you gotta get started on that. That's a project. It's a really cool set, but that one takes a minute. I had a weird dream. I mean, I have weird dreams every night. And I think if I told everybody all of them, you guys would just think that I do acid. But the one small section of it was that I found a swimming pool, bizarrely, near where I live now. Which is weird because there's not that much civilization. But there was a swimming pool, and it was a pretty basic small one. And it was kind of old and worn, but I was really excited because I was going to be able to walk and just go swimming, and also there was room for me to set up my yoga mat and do yoga. But then, and I was stoked about that. But then, like, people started filtering in there, and a woman who was in charge was like, "There's no room for you to do yoga in here." And I'm like, "But it's a huge building. My mat's like this big. It's not a big deal." And she's like, "No, there's no room. You must leave, and come back when you're famous. Come back when you're as famous as Taylor Swift." Which is crazy. And in the dream, I looked at her and I went, "I will." And I like ran out of the building and then was like being pursued through the forest. But I liked the idea. I thought it was really funny that I was not entitled to lay down my mat to do yoga at the pool, no less, until I became as famous as Taylor Swift. So I needed to leave and like get started on that. It's very dramatic. All right, let's pop back to the house. Weird, vivid dreams, kind of exhausting. Wake up every day confused. I think it's because I'm sleeping poorly. I think it's because I'm getting woken up like 20 times a night by sounds. Yeah, very common prerequisite, honestly. Moral of the story, only famous people can do yoga at the pool. I also like that, like, Taylor Swift is kind of like a crazy goal for being famous because I don't think you could be more famous than her. I think that's the maximum amount of famous. I had a dream that I went to LA, but they had a Canada-style border entry. Never been to LA. Let's go back to the house. I'm sure I got some new things. We made the bottle shipment, and what was the other thing we made? We made the bottle shipment, and oh, it was a bottle lamp. It's a Borealis bottle lamp, but it looked tiny. I wanted to see how big it was. Maybe she was also doing yoga at this pool. They just wanted everyone to be at the Taylor standard. I was watching, there was a show that had like a small section where people were doing acrobatics on it, and it made me miss doing yoga. I remember being bendy. I would like to be bendy again. The only problem is that you hurt all the time, but you feel nice when you're not hurting. Mix between a fair and a border crossing. I had to wear a wristband as if it were my passport, and the people were very mean. They famously make you get wristbands to enter LA. I've never been to LA proper. I've been to California. I've been to Anaheim, and I've been to Irvine. But I don't think either of those count. So here's the bottle lamp. It's only placeable inside, so it must be a real lamp. I wonder if it's really tiny. He said you hurt all the time. When is not hurt? When not hurt is when it's been about 2.5 days since previous yoga practice, which is usually right before next one. And your soreness has finally had time to wear off, and you're about to do it all over again. You're not supposed to make, like, to go that hard. I just don't, I don't know. I never feel like I'm pushing myself that far in the moment, but then the next day I'm like, ugh. Pain. I'm pretty sure I'm doing it wrong. You're not supposed to stretch that hard. Oh, that's actually, like, kind of adorable. It's kind of really cute. I kind of love that. I also put this lamp on here too. I'm gonna forget that I stuck this in my house somewhere. At some point I'm gonna redo, I think, the whole house. I don't think this is too much like a restaurant. Those things are so cute, but they're too much. And then that's my pile of garbage. That's the front door. And then through here is living room / bedroom. But like, this is just a strange, like, yeah, it's a reading nook. Yeah, it's kind of cute. You've got like a curtain, you've got some stairs, you've got a loom on this side because that was expensive. And then you've got like your page turning book situation. Poor plushie's still in the cage. One dumpling, please. Did a senior chair routine one time and it made me sore. It's really nice to stretch out all those things you don't normally stretch out. The part of me that I usually overwork is my hammies. I usually let myself stretch my hamstrings a little too much. And it's not dangerous necessarily. Your muscles can take quite a bit of abuse. It's your joints that you want to be real careful with. My arms and my back. Actually, my core used to hurt a lot too. I used to do a lot of... at Ashtanga, they make you do a lot of Navasana. They make you do a lot of core work. And my abs would just be burning. This looks cool. Yeah, I do like it. This is my favorite part. This little nook here, which is, I guess, the bedroom, is my favorite part. Because it looks like how I would actually have a bedroom set up. Like, bookshelf, very important. It's going to have books. It's probably also going to have some knickknacks. Couple of plants, very important. More books on the wall. I kind of want to do this in real life. I want to put some floating shelves on my wall near my bed to have more books. This is a laundry hamper. This is houseplants being lit by standing lamp and by window, because that sounds like something I would do. Extra corner for reading, kind of extraneous, but cute. And then this is where she pretends to write, but she hasn't written a page in years. Ashtanga was such a life changer. I feel like I joined a religion and then quit it. Like, I liked it a lot, but I feel like I can't go back. Partly because it's far away. And partly because I feel like I'm either all the way in or I'm not with something like that. Because if I try to do any of it, if I'm not doing it regularly, it's going to be too much for me. I can do gentle, normal, average person yoga now. The head in the pot? Oh, an Ixie's head? This is just my closet. This is my walk-in closet. This is where my junk goes. So we've got like a flag leaning up here. This is where we keep Nazoth's heart near some crates. Yeah. Anyway, this is my favorite bit. But I feel like I could recreate this if I need to. It's not like anything crazy was done here. Nothing was really clipped together too much to make other things. This is a lamppost that I've turned into a sconce, which is funny because there is also a sconce version of this, but I just didn't have it yet at the time. It's also smoking, which is exactly what you want next to your bed. Yeah, I think at some point I'm gonna take the house completely down and start it over again. That's just Nazoth's heart. Yeah, it's just in the closet. This is the bathroom. Clearly I ran out of ideas. I got the slightly gross looking tub. And that's what we got. If I sleep in this tub, is it going to drown me? Or like make me look like I'm drowning? Don't do it! Oh my, imagine the stream intro is just this. This, but with like a 5-minute long zoom. Getting closer and closer to her face. Oh. I should make a bunch of different intros and I should have them randomized somehow. Yeah, same music, exactly the same music, like the little cute xylophone song. And at the end of it, the eyes just open. Although, I don't know if I can make her eyes open without also making her stand up. How adorable is this transmog? I love it so much. Look at the little fairies. Ugh. I'm so cute. Alright, I'm done for today. I'll be back tomorrow. It's Saturday. We will have a Saturday stream tomorrow. I'd like to thank you guys so much for joining me today. I appreciate the company. And I hope you have a beautiful beginning to your weekend and a wonderful, wonderful day.